into the game. Let's see what compositions it is going to be. That Feral Assassination on the side of Rockets Esports going against the tried, the true TSG Death Knight Warrior Restoration Druid on the side of Emo.
Yeah, looks like Rockets may have won this blind pick. Bub's going to be charging in. Look for a lot of damage on Cervantes early on. Leanne into that full blind as well. Cervantes needs to kite away. He's going to be taking a lot of initial pressure. Both Pacifier and Bubs connecting to him. AMS has already been used. Leanne from the blind into the fear. Cervantes still needs to try to get away. Ironbark still hasn't been used by Leanne, so Cervantes looks like he's going to get topped off quite easily. Nice swap over on a Pacifier. He has to use that trinket right away.
Yeah, I think there's some important differences in this matchup as we see Leanne getting swapped over to now. Actually, the Vendetta committed anti-magic zone, a good answer to all of that magic damage. The triple DR stun, they're going to get the frenzy regeneration out. Should be enough to keep him alive. Notice Leanne is playing the renewal talent as opposed to Displacer Beast. It means he's not going to be able to kite as well, but he does get the extra healing.
He just can't get away. He's still in so much trouble. No bark skin available. He uses the Iron Bark, but still tanking so much damage. Finally, Pacifier into the full bash. He's getting taken down. Ratapide needs to top him off. Survival Instinct is going to be used. Leanne tops off, so Emo looking like they're in a good spot at this point in the game. Pacifier, he has no trinket, he has no survival instincts. Incarnation has been used as they make a swap over onto Cervantes. Luckily, Leanne still has his trinket. He's not going to be put into any CC that he can't trinket out of. Cervantes runs away to the other side of the map. Leanne gets swapped to, channels out that Tranquility, has to easily stop it as Bubs is about to kick him. Bubs having a hard time connecting to his target. Trinkets out of that Stormbolt as a lot of pressure is coming out from Emo.
Yeah, the Feral Druid from Pacifier is doing so much onto Leanne. He might just get the kill here. Incarnation still active. It just falls off. The fear low on Leanne. Looks like he should be able to top himself off though. Caught into the DR Kidney. Might just fall. Barkskin just in time.
Pacifier in the cross kill.
First. Leanne was so close there. We saw the War Banner actually DR'd that final kidney shot. Otherwise, he might have died in a cross kill. Such a crazy first game.
Third Rage and Cervantes doing it.
Far left, we can see Enjoy Legion. They're looking on at this series. This could be their next opponents. They didn't pick any of the Thundersticks though. A little disappointed about that. But we are into game number 2. We've swapped, or we haven't swapped the compositions at all. We've swapped over onto Ruins of Lordron though. And Nerd Rage looks like he's going to be looking for that nice double fade. The Stormbolt immediately coming out.
Yeah, Bub's going to be trinketing that as well as that powered barrier going to be dropped by Ratapie. So that's the defensive cooldown overlap I'm talking about. We cannot be doing that if they want to win this game. It's going to be a very fast-paced game. Leanne already caught into the kidney shot, taking a lot of pressure early on. Luckily for him, he wasn't that bear form. Nice swap over on a Pacifier as well. Managed to save his trinket. Pain Suppression was used by Ratapie very early on. If you look at Ratapie's defensive cooldowns, he has nothing left. He's used everything so early.
Yeah, and on the contrary, Leanne got a beautiful preemptive Iron Bark on that Vendetta, so he's held on to not only his trinket, but his bark skin. Excellent start. They're trying to tunnel down Bubs here. He's really struggling to connect over onto Leanne, and this is an awful start for Rockets.
This is not a good start at all. Pacifier now getting low as well. Full blind over onto Leanne. Cervantes might have to use that Icebound Fortitude. He does. Trades it out on that kidney shot, trying to run away, making sure Leanne can save his trinket. Doesn't want to be using that, just in case they swap over onto him a little bit later on. Cervantes looks like his HP is stabilizing a little bit. Leanne having a hard time popping him off without that Iron Bark cooldown. Now getting swapped to. Bubs into the full Stormbolt though. Still has one trinket. Has his evasion. He should be A-okay out of that stun. Full maim over onto Leanne. Has to use that bark skin into the kidney shot. Trinkets out. Potentially a little bit too late. Trying to run away. Bubs reconnects. He gets Death Grip. Cervantes keeping him alive. Beautiful plays by Emo. Leanne survives.
Beautiful plays. We saw Nerd Rage once again with that defensive intimidating shout, followed by the Death Grip from Cervantes. Is going to peel the Incarnation from Pacifier. He's got his artifact up. They need to get pressure onto Cervantes. If they cannot kill with these offensive cooldowns, they will lose this game.
Cervantes trying to kite away. He needs to live a little bit longer. Bubs now getting swapped as well. He has the Vendetta full kidney shot on Leanne. Leanne has nothing. He's in so much trouble. He isn't fair form. Luckily, he needs to displace away, get out of line of sight. DR main Pacifier also getting low, but Leanne falls.
Yeah, Vendetta coming up just in time. If he'd got out of that final stun, the frenzied regen would have healed him up. You can see Ratapie is almost oom. They're even trying for the cross kill, but it will not be enough. Survival instincts from Pacifier respecting the chance.
Yeah, Pacifier needs to kite it out a little bit, struggle over onto Bubs. But Emo at this point in the game really doesn't have anything left. Rockets Esports going to be tying up this series 1-1.
This is all to play for. Game 3 series tied 1-1. Is the bigger map going to draw Leanne far enough away from his DPS that he can survive?
Yeah, Rockets Esports needs a lot of momentum early on. We'll have to see how they decide to open up. You can see Bubs pushing in stealth That's going to be stunned over onto all enemies of Emo. They're looking to get aggressive very early on, but the Stormbolt as well as the Bash over onto Pacifier are going to be slowing that opener down a little bit. Everyone from Emo is in a good spot. No cooldowns have really been committed by Rockets at this point, just basically trading out normal damage. That's a full kidney shot over onto Lian. He's taking a lot of pressure early on. AMC is going to be dropped by Cervantes to slow down some of that incoming damage. DR Bash as well. Lian should be able to survive with that frenzied regen, but in the meantime, Pacifier getting really low, might have to use his first tick of survival instincts.
Yeah, we've already seen a few of the minor defensives coming out of Emo. There's the artifact from Lian and the anti-magic zone, whereas no offensives really popped on the side of Rockets. They still have that Vendetta, they still have the Incarnation, so this is looking pretty good for them. But the longer that Emo can stall this out using that big pillar, the more pressure they can get and the closer they can get to actually winning the game by ooming Rattlepie.
That's a full blind over onto Lian. Let's see what Rockets can do with that crowd control. Cervantes in a good spot. That's going to be full sap onto Lian. Now Cervantes needs to be in a little bit of trouble. He needs to be careful. It pops that Icebound Fortitude, making him a little bit tankier. Nice fear coming in from Nerd Rage as well, but that's a fear over onto Lian. Cervantes getting a big heal there as well as Iron Bark from Lian. That was his trinket as well. Now Lian could be in a little bit of trouble later on if they make a swap over onto him. Barkskin's been used, catches a huge heal. Gonna survive for now, but that was a lot at the offense of Rocket Esports.
Yeah, this is scary. Pacifier used his trinket offensively there, and that was the Incarnation, that was the Vendetta, and Emo crucially have survived in a stable condition. There's nothing really left for Lian though. If they catch him in a kidney shot outside of bear form, he will not have the Barkskin or the trinket for that, so that is definitely the win condition Rockets are going for. But you can see Lian, he's just running away. They're spamming the hamstrings onto the melees of Rockets, slowing them down, and Rattlepie is down to 20% mana already.
Yeah, they need to just buy as much time as possible, get everyone topped off, and eventually they will win this game. That's a win condition for the team of Emo. Cheap shot over onto Lian, but he's just always in bear form. Gets DR Bash as he shifts out though. Could be in trouble. Triple DR Kidney. Can he get away? That's a full stun over on a Pacifier. Cervantes and Nerd Rage trying to turn around the pressure. Lian barely surviving. Bub's trying to take him down. He catches a huge heal, survives, and now Pacifier is in trouble. Nothing left for him. Trying to reconnect and keep that damage, keep that pressure over on the Pacifier, sorry, on the Lian. Gets gripped back and taken down.
And look at the reaction on Lian's face. That was an incredible game, but Emo come out victorious. The rallying cry
in this game to stay into the tournament. Emo looking to deny that. Like Zico's been saying, we're going to look to see Nerd Rage deny that blind sap, using his Stormbolt, using his duel, using his War Banner. I have to see how it plays out. Bub's charging in right away. We'll see who he opens onto. Usually it's Cervantes trying to get that initial pressure before they do a swap over onto Lian. Double stun going to be coming out from Emo. Emo responds with the Stormbolt over onto Bubs. Not too much damage going to be coming out early on.
Okay, I like this. Rockets, they did not overextend with any trinkets, but actually, as I say that, Pacifier has to trinket out of the first stun. He's not going to have that on the Incarnation. We see Vendetta now traded onto Lian. Anti-Magic Zone once again going to be the counter cooldown from Cervantes, but it's a lot longer than the Vendetta. He'll have that available again. Incarnation still being saved by Pacifier.
Oh, Pacifier's in so much trouble. He used his trinket early on, like you said. Dipping lower and lower. Survival Instincts has been used. It's going to be a lot of damage reduction, but once that fades, the Feral Druid is a particularly squishy target. Lian used basically everything except his trinket in that opener. Actually did an incredible job with that free Iron Bark on that swap. That's why he really didn't have to use anything. Now into the full kidney shot. Rockets Esports looking to connect some damage. That's going to be the Incarnation from Pacifier. Let's see what he can get done. Cervantes kiting around a little bit right now. Emo doing a good job deflecting this attack.
Yeah, two important things here. Lian's held on to his trinket so far, so he'll have that for the blind if needed. And all the trinkets have been used on Rockets Esports. So here, they're able to stun Pacifier, peel up the swap, Iron Bark now over onto Lian, stun onto Rattlepie and Bubs. This could be trouble on the side of Rockets. The Incarnation is down. No offensive cooldowns for them to finish the job. Over onto Lian. He has his Buckskin, he has his trinket, and he's looking like he might have the game.
Yeah, Pacifier can be in a lot of trouble if they can connect a full stun with any crowd control onto Rattlepie. We'll have to see if it happens. Another tick of Survival Instinct is going to be used by Pacifier. That is 50% damage reduction, so he should be saved. Full bash over onto Lian, though Lian pre-bear forms it once again. Not even going to be using that Barskin. Completely fine during that swap. DR Kitty Shot going to be thrown over onto him. A little bit more damage connects, but Pacifier is the one that's in trouble. Needing to kite away, using that bear form to be tanky. Back into cat form, trying to throw out some damage. Rattlepie expending a lot of mana, keeping his team aggressive right now, but Bubs, he has a Vendetta. That's a full blind over on the land. He trinkets out immediately, so now Rockets Esports, they have an opportunity to make a swap over on the land. Looks like they're committing to Cervantes for now. Full stun over on the Pacifier. No trinket available. Apocalypse has been used by Cervantes. Cervantes. They're trying to take him down. Gets into bear form, kiting away. Full kidney shot over onto Lian. Iron Bark was used over onto Cervantes. That's going to be great. Good job by Lian for bending that damage.
Yeah, absolutely. He trinketed the blind, but it was on the Vendetta, which is the final offensive cooldown really Rockets have for a little while. We can see once again, Radapai's mana is a telling story. Down to 20%. He's kept his team alive long enough so far. Lian dropping low, still has the bark skin, but the story is there's the triple fear. They need to set up a kill here onto Bubs or Pacifier.
Yeah, Pacifier needs to kite away, needs to run, try to avoid some of that damage. It's a Cyclone onto Ratapai. Pacifier getting a big power word shield. Nice little swap from Rockets over onto Lian, but they just can't find the damage. Pacifier is just forced to play so defensive throughout this entire game. Now a nice swap over onto Bubs. He has evasion, he might need to use it. Doesn't want to be too greedy in this game. Ratapai's going to be able to top him off, keep him stable. Pacifier still getting low. Emo looking like they've stabilized at this point in the game. Cervantes playing defense for Lian right now, gripping Pacifier in, stunning him up, and he's going to trinket out of that right away.
This is starting to look a bit bad for Emo. If they can't kill before the second Incarnation and Vendetta come up, that's going to be huge trouble for them. Lian without a trinket for that, so Rockets need to survive on 2 seconds on Vendetta, and they force the anti-magic zone before it as well. This is so good for Rockets. Just live a little bit longer, 20 seconds left on Incarnation. Ratapai is can they survive?
They're gonna have to if they want to win this game. Full bash on Ratapai, trinkets out immediately. Another survival instinct is gonna be used by Pacifier, making him a little tankier. Vendetta, like you said, available for Bubs. They can get a lot of pressure with that ability. They just need to make sure they pull the trigger at the right time. Incarnation's gonna be up as well. Lian in a lot of trouble. No trinket, getting lower and lower. Barkskin has been used. Can he survive? Can Rocket stay in this tournament and take Lian down?
He dies! Oh my! Blasting off again. Rockets lose the game. They are eliminated from the competition. Emo, they're looking for the cross kill. Can they get it? Bubs still has the Vendetta, but Lian will hold on. The smiles on the side of Emo. They're not Emo anymore. They will advance.
This is going to be a heartbreaker as the gates open. We're going to be seeing a Rogue Mage Priest Mirror showdown. Maru and Raikou meeting each other in center field, trading out Frostbolts. Both Rogues looking for an opening target. Waz leading off with a blind. Chazzy opting to trinket. Zuniaki using trinket as well. So both teams mirroring each other identically. Now some pressure over onto the Rogues. Neither team really certain on which target they want to go after. Pressure on Raikou for now, but Zuniaki in a good position to top him off after this burst. I believe if they get to block this early on, it could be devastating. They do manage to get it. Now Maru in reverse, forced to block. This is an exact mirror at this point.
Yeah, Maru does have its Icy Veins, though. That's going to be very critical. Still has that offensive cooldown, so making a movie opting to split up their cooldowns, it's going to give them much more pressure later on. Maru getting kicked out right now. Chaz has no trinket. Zuniaki has no trinket. Full kidney shot onto Zuniaki. Can Maru land the follow-up CC? He does, the full Ring of Frost, but Raikou looking like he's going to be able to kite away. Pride just cannot connect, and he's going to be completely fine through that CC chain.
Yeah, Waz now getting stunned up by Pride. Pride seems to be focusing a lot of his attention on his opponent, Waz, instead of the Mage. Normally the Mage is the primary focus. Waz is now chasing down Maru, trying to pressure him. He's down in half. Chaz caught into a full fear. Could be a devastating moment for Maru as he dips dangerously low. Zuniaki looking for the Master Spell. Connects it. They purge off the Power Word Shield, looking to take him out. He's barely hanging on. Spell stealing that Power Word Shield back and forth to stay alive, but now he's down a block. Will he be able to survive? They drop the smoke bomb, trying to get the pressure. They need to force Raikou back. Raiku's just having free reign at this point.
Yeah, Raiku's doing a good job in this matchup. Zuniaki now into the full kidney shot. They're trying to turn around on Raikou, but he's doing such a good job in this game. Temporal Shield's going to be pre-pop there at 100% HP. Anytime we see Zuniaki in any crowd control, Raikou runs away. Zuniaki getting feared now. Maru's the one that's in trouble, though. Down to 50% HP. Can Waz connect the damage? Maru trinkets out, trying to run away. They're trying to reverse it onto Raikou. This could be hit second, I thought. He gets locked out on that polymorph, trying to run away. Maru getting low. Chaz getting caught into the full fear. Raikou gets locked out. Both mages have relatively stabilized at this point.
Yeah, Zuniaki premonitioning that poly, trying to keep Raikou up, trying to hold on to that second ice block as long as possible. Will they be able to hold on to it is the question. The barrier buying him some time to recover. Nice Frost Nova on Pry. Pry opting to vanish out of that. They want to get aggressive. They're going for the blind play, but Maru is in trouble. Blinks away, gets counterspelled. If Waz can connect, Maru could be in trouble. Chaz trying to heal with that penance, keeping him pretty healthy. Zuniaki sneaking up towards Chaz. Zuniaki wants to look for a fear. Running down on Chaz, lands the full fear. Could be trouble if Waz can follow it up with a stun onto Maru. Maru blinks away right before it. He shadow steps to reconnect. No cheap shots coming out just yet. Now they're trying to reverse the pressure on Raikou. Evan Bolt, though, being channeled, gets interrupted by Pry. Frozen Orb gets dropped. Raikou blinks out of that right away as he is dipping down below half HP. Chaz now trying to chase down Zuniaki. Nice premonition on that polymorph, breaking himself out. Now chasing after him, but now getting stunned by Waz. If Raikou can blink over there for a polymorph, it could be Maru's life. Pry stunning up Waz. Might be looking for a swap. I don't think they're going to commit the damage as they switch their attention back to Raikou. Zuniaki caught into a stun, but no longer. Grips Raikou back to the pillar. Now Raikou bursting down Maru. Temporal shield is up, trying to get that off. It will top him off quite easily. Still Raikou in a lead. They need to get a block from Raikou here and now if they want to take this.
Yeah, and they absolutely do. This is Raikou's Icy Veins as well. He goes down without the ice block. Making a movie takes game number 1 against Northern.
Maru with the home field advantage as well, and Chaz starts to scream over to the other.
Northern, so much pressure here. One of these teams will be eliminated after this series. The gates have opened. We're gonna have to see how making a movie opens up.
Yeah, Chaz charging to the center of the map. He wants to deny Raikou from his spectral sight so that Maru and Pry can sneak across the map and initiate the fight. Chaz is just sacrificing himself to the center field. Maru, though, now out of invis, going to be blinking in the center of the map. In the meantime, Pry got Minpoike's trinkets with that blind early on, so with no trinket, they would like to swap to him. They catch him into the stun, but he did pre-shapeshift. They're trying to race against the bear farm. Anti-magic zone gets traded out. I don't think they have the damage to kill through this. The frenzy regeneration should be enough to start topping him off. They have to use darkness as well. Tons of cooldowns forced out from Minpoike. He will make the recovery, and he needs to keep his eyes wide open because he's going to be a swap target again very soon.
Yeah, no trinket, no Barskin, and no help from Raikou and Zuniaki. Maru taking a lot of damage though right now. Might be the first ice block. Full imprisonment over on a Chaz. Maru gets locked out, forced into that ice block. Gonna have one more of those, but this is good pressure coming out from Northern.
Yeah, good counter pressure from Northern as Pry is dipping low. Chaz in a hard position trying to pick them both back up. Pry would like to swap to Minpoike at any moment, and Minpoike knows that. He's staying in bear form, just allowing Zuniaki to use defensive cooldowns like any magic shell rather than him shapeshifting out. But they may just initiate through it. They go for the cheap shot. They're going all in for the kill. Do they have enough damage to find it? Double stun onto the frenzy, but it's not enough damage to push Minpoike over. And now they're too aggressive. Maru's overextended. Zuniaki grips him in for the kill. Maru barely blinks away in time. Pry dipping low. Zuniaki marching forward. Second ice block forced. And now making a movie or on a clock. Do they have the time to find it? No. Pry dips low. Barely survives. Banishing out on 2%. Maru's ice block is now over. Making a movie are in full panic mode as they try to solidify their strategy. They've got maybe one more opportunity left.
They're trying to turn it around over onto Zuniaki. Chaz activating that Dark Archangel. Maru getting so low though. Might have to use that Temporal Shield. This is such a scary moment for him. Full fear over onto Raikou. Chaz doing everything he can to slow them down. Zuniaki getting bursted. Full kidney shot over onto Minpoike. He barkskins it instantly. This may be an opportunity for making a movie a little bit later on, but I don't know if they have the time. Full imprisonment over onto Chaz. Maru getting lower and lower, trying to kite away. Pry trying to stun up Zuniaki and Raikou to slow down the team of Northern, but this is looking so good.
Yeah, full blind on Minpoike. He's playing as greedy because he used Barkskin earlier. He doesn't want to trinket this crowd control and die in a stun. I think that was a smart move from Minpoike. Gets back in combat, bashes Pry, low health. Minpoike might even go for a Cyclone there at low HP. That might swap to Pry out of the Cyclone if they have an imprisonment for Chaz. Keep our eyes on that. Raikou popping that Metamorphosis. They just going for the safe strategy at this point, training down Maru. They know that he's exposed. No ice blocks available. Pry jumps over first on him and Minpoike. They're forced to swap back, but Maru's running out of time. Chaz is trying to get a fear and heal at the same time, but he can't handle it. They go for the damage on Zuniaki. Minpoike deflects. Maru now low. Will Maru be able to survive? No ice blocks to his name for another 3 minutes. Chaz is doing his best to keep him topped, but he can't. He's struggling to heal through the damage. Maru hovering at 50% for quite a long time. Mana is surprisingly even. I was expecting Minpoike to have a lead. If Maru can keep kiting like this, they might still have a chance.
Yeah, Maru and Chaz both opting for those offensive talents, not having Temporal Shield. He opted for that Kleptomania, so he's going to be able to remove all the hots, but he's not going to do enough healing. Maru trying to run away. He gets taken down with Chaz, and that imprisons it.
And just like that, it is knotted up 1-1.
And preparing all year to make it to BlizzCon. The gates have opened. Let's hear it for both these teams as we move forward into game number 3.
Yeah, we see Waz actually getting sapped. This is great for making a movie's initial attack. With the entire team in crowd control, they have free reign towards Raikou. They need to try and get an ice block with this pressure. They're really not finding it though, and even with that excellent start, they don't get the cooldown that they need. Now with Chaz caught into a polymorph, Northern look to reverse the pressure. Maru Maru getting bursted, trades out the ice block. Can Zuniaki mass dispel it off is the question. He does get it. Huge flurry combo out of it. Chaz desperately trying to keep Maru alive. Manages to connect a couple of powered shields. Maru will stabilize. Now making a movie on the back foot. They drop the smoke bomb to try and reverse it. Zuniaki barriers, but they don't feel comfortable. Raikou doesn't trust it. He's going to trade out his block as well. Chaz looking to get that off. Raikou down at half still. Pry, if he can reconnect, could push this through. They've managed to get a polymorph though now in reverse. Chaz is going to have to sit through a very long crowd control chain. Maru is going to have to 1v2 to stay alive. Raikou getting shut down reasonably well. Nice Frost Nova on Waz. Does immediately get out of it, however. Now the pressure could be in either team's favor as both rogues are fully connecting. Double fear landed by Zuniaki, but Raikou is the one that's actually getting pressured. Both temporal shields popped. Both the mages feeling the heat. Raikou's is going to go off and stabilize. Pry being spam polymorph. Both the teams kind of waiting it out. They want to wait for their rogue stun DRs. Chaz is going to start a crowd control chain with a fear, but I don't think that they have any follow-up out of it. Maru can't get in line of sight in time, and now Maru on the back foot. Will he have to trade out his second block? He's dipping low, second block. Mass dispel. Zuniaki connects, and Maru goes down. Northern swinging the series back 2-1.
That was such an impressive game by Raikou from start to finish. Although making a movie had such a great start, Raikou managed to defuse it with a beautiful temporal.
To set up comps, he's the most well-rounded player right now, and they're on match point. Rogue Mage Priest Mir on Runes of Lorder on a fitting final resting place for making a movie if they can't pull this back.
Yeah, Zuniaki blinded immediately. Both Zuniaki and Chaz gonna trinket out. A lot of pressure over onto Maru early on. Raikou popping that Icy Veins. Shadow Blades has been committed as well. Northern looking for an early start, putting a lot of pressure on Maru. Uses that temporal shield. Smoke bomb dropped on Raikou. A lot of damage very early on. Zuniaki trying to heal him through. Too much burst though. Raikou's gonna be forced into that first ice block.
Yeah, good momentum for making a movie, but now Raikou looking to reverse the pressure. Ebb and Bolt flurry combo. Maru respecting the burst. Ice blocking immediately. Zuniaki mass dispelling that off. They land the full fear. Maru on the run. Hypothermia up. Will he be able to survive the pressure? This is match point as the Holy Fires connect. Hanging on by a thread, but it's not enough. Northern going to be 3-1 making a movie, and making a movie go home.
Shadow Cleave once again, yes it will. So Looney on the Restoration Druid, Warwick's on the Demonology Warlock, and Zeepai on that Unholy Death Knight.
Yeah, Destiny slowly but surely making his way across the map. They're baiting Zeepai behind the pillar. They're going to focus some pressure onto him. He's not falling for the bait. Immediately jumps back into line of sight of Looney. Looney can pick him up in a hurry now. Destiny marching towards Walrix. Walrix, though, is in a great position to set up a counter pressure. Destiny getting bursted down in that Fell Lord. Walrix setting up for a Thalkiel's consumption here very shortly, empowering all his pets. Getting wind sheared there. Nice shutdown from Hexer, delaying the burst of Walrix for a few seconds. Now Walrix in a hard position. Will he pop the defensives and go aggressive, or will he portal away is the question. He is getting forced down and opting to portal out. Does not want to risk death this early on.
Yeah, we already actually see the Ascendants coming out of Hexer. That is a massive AoE healing cooldown on the side of him, so maybe Enjoy Legion can start to generate a little bit more pressure. Zeepai pushing in now. Destiny a little bit low. If they can get some crowd control over onto Hexer, no trinket of course, they can really get some momentum going here, and importantly, they survive the Avenging Wrath.
Yeah, Hexer spent a lot of time fake casting the interrupts, but Walrix didn't fall for any of those fake casts. Now with that lockout into a stun, Destiny could be in trouble as he dips into that deadly range where his Divine Shield will trigger. They don't have enough damage to push him over. They managed to hold on to the Divine Shield. In the meantime now, Pasio securing a trap. Walrix on the run, portaling back behind the pillar. Destiny can't reconnect. They're tearing into him. Zeepai spamming out those chains of ice. Very difficult for Destiny to get around the map. Gripping Hexer in, locking him out. This could easily be the Divine Shield unless Destiny can escape the clutches of Enjoy Legion. Barely hanging on, but with that Cyclone landed, Destiny's Divine Shield has triggered, and without that major protection, he will be vulnerable.
Yeah, but curiously, look at the mana situation. Looney already down to half. Hexer has been doing a phenomenal job so far at 80% mana against this devastating Shadow Cleave. So really the story is quite the opposite of what we'd expect. Free Therapy are winning on mana. They just need to not die because they run out of cooldowns. And here go Enjoy Legion.
Yeah, Hexer getting gripped in for a double wombo combo demon sync. Destiny barely escaping those clutches. Walrix getting silenced up, dipping low, portals away. Looney reconnects, spamming out those heals, looking to top him off, wants to get out and get aggressive. In the meantime, Zeepai turning his attention to Hexer. Hexer getting pushed back. He needs to duck behind the pillar. Line of sight the incoming attacks. They switch to Zeepai. Zeepai dipping low, trades out Icebound Fortitude. They need to be careful. Swapsy went down in game 1 in the series yesterday as met the Triforce, so if Zeepai isn't careful, he's definitely a kill real target. Stun over onto Looney. They're going to switch to him. And Free Therapy are just trying to confuse their opponents. Now trapping at Looney on low HP. Switching back onto Walrix. Big burst followed up by Destiny. Walrix not responding. Portaling away. Trying to play it greedy. Hanging on the unending resolve as long as he can. Z-Pi getting aggressive. Chasing down Hexer. Destiny's trying to move forward. Chains of Ice preventing him from reconnecting. Looney, though, his mana not looking good.
Yeah, absolutely. Free Therapy are looking even stronger today than they did on day one of this competition. They're swapping to Z-Pi more, getting a lot more spread pressure, and that's why Looney's struggling so much on mana. On the other side, Hexer dropping low, has to trade out his PvP trinket.
Destiny and Z-Pi both dipping dangerously low as Destiny's Divine Shield is not available for quite some time. You may need to be careful. It's a race to the finish. Looney tries to deny with an Iron Bark. Walrix now getting swapped over to straight swapping from Free Therapy this game. Walrix portals away, but he portaled away from Looney. They're going to even switch some damage onto Looney, and Free Therapy seem to be in a commanding position, now securing that full trap. Z-Pi dipping low. Hexer just needs to keep his team going a couple more seconds. Will he be able to save Destiny in time? Blessing and Protection buys him a few seconds. Walrix finishing him off. A very close call, though. Free Therapy are out to play.
Absolutely. Free Therapy, we will have to get into it, of course. It is a smaller map, so they are probably going to try rely on that Earth Shield just a little bit more to keep Z-Pi alive. We saw when these two teams battled off, or when Method battled off running the Ellie Resto Shaman, they were able to live a long time, but they weren't able to kill. Rorix, of course, we already saw his big Falchiel's consumption last game. Can he do it again?
Yeah, Z-Pi seems to be the primary focus for Free Therapy. Facile is trying to harass Looney, landing that bursting shot, following up with a full trap. Stun on a Z-Pi, knocking Destiny away for a few moments, but they do follow up and reconnect. Z-Pi dipping low, Looney trying to recover. Z-Pi jumping back over the Fell Lord, looking to use that to zone Destiny out. Facile getting bursted, huge damage coming out from Enjoy Legion. Looney now jumping away, he wants to get aggressive. Wind shearing the healer, and what just happened to Facile's health, man?
Z-Pi on Elemental is like no other.
Oh my
Holy
goodness, Z-Pi!
I really hope we have a replay.
Yeah, I think we
better
can,
have a replay.
rewatch the whole game. Well, why not? Let's get this game started. Gamescom, let me hear ya!
Yeah, Destiny and Facile need to be careful. This is match point. They face elimination from the tournament. Can they pull this comeback off is the question. Destiny charging in. Looks like Z-Pi will be the primary target for them as they overextend down below. Hexer's gonna have to back them up. He's jumping towards the box. Looney caught into a trap. Z-Pi caught into a stun. I've seen this before. If Destiny can connect, they might be able to force out the Astral Shift. They need to connect that burst. They're not finding it. Z-Pi just off-healing. Walrix now trying to turn around the pressure, catching Hexer into that Demon Sync Wombo combo, taking him down to half. Hexer manages to escape. Pressure still on Z-Pi, but he's gonna hide underneath this Demon. Destiny does not want to go into that circle and risk throwing the match. Z-Pi still getting cleaved down. Destiny getting cleaved down as well. Who will fall first? Destiny retreats back to the pillar. The entire team of Free Therapy in a panic situation as Hexer pops Ascendance to try and recover through the onslaught of Enjoy Legion.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that Enjoy Legion have really done well when it comes to drafting this composition is, compared to how Blizzo that Method did yesterday, they have a free casting Warwicks. That is incredibly scary. Nice little jump up by Z-Pi, of course. He is the absolute pinnacle of skill when it comes to elemental shamans as well. And these guys just look so much more threatening offensively.
Yeah, they really do. Destiny is down at half. Facile is down at half. Hexer is struggling to deal with the interrupts, soaking one there, now getting feared away. Walrix taking complete control of the fight. Huge damage potential here. Walrix needs to be careful. He is overextending. Will he be able to stay in this position is the question. They stun up Z-Pi. Looney gets trapped, but Destiny gets thunderstormed away once again, and then Z-Pi just holds onto that thunderstorm every time. Facile, where did his health go? Does not want to have a repeat of game number 2. Trading out that aspect of the turtle on 4%. Hexer can't believe this damage, and if you're Free Therapy, you must be terrified.
Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy Legion have been playing Lock, Resto, Shaman together for about 3 years. Z-Pi and Warwicks are the LSD players of Europe. Destiny now dropping low, but one of the things they've been doing a fantastic job of is they are targeting Facile whenever they can. We see the Fell Lord dropped on Destiny since he's in the open. And actually, Facile, I like this. He's playing far back by Hexer, so it's going to make it a lot harder for them to burst him, but they're still going to try.
Facile needs to stay on this pillar, these boxes to his right. If he ever goes into the center of the map, they will tear into him, which means Destiny is trying to keep the pressure up for his team, but it's just not enough. Looney lands the Hex. Hexer actually trinkets out of that. Destiny's dipping low. Will Hexer be able to save him? I'm not entirely sure. Divine Shield available. Gets stunned on his charger. He's not able to escape. Divine Shield triggers. Now with Destiny and Facile, their major defensives are out of the way. They are easy pickings, and they're going to need to be careful.
Okay, so let's look at the mana situation. Hexer is full. Looney, he's actually sitting down for a drink right now, so completely forget that point. But the TLDR is, if free therapy can survive, and this is what they need to do right now. Destiny, Facile, sit behind a pillar, wait for dampening. That's how you beat Method. You played the long game, you oomed Botar, and you won like that. This composition is very scary in dampening. Marksman Hunters do a lot of damage in the open. If they can use that pillar properly, I think they can still win this game.
Yeah, Walrix and Zeepai have free therapy pinned down behind the pillar. They're trying to force them out with earthquakes. Will they have enough damage to force them out? I don't think so. They don't want to throw the match. They're trying to wait for their defensive cooldowns, but that is a long time away, and they're just taking free damage from Zeepai's chain lightnings. They're all going down to half, even with the pillar aiding their defense. Walrix is on one side, Zeepai on the other. Hexer can find no room to breathe, and Destiny opts to move out. They're trying to get the kill. Zeepai knocks Destiny away, charges up, tries to reconnect. Zeepai jumps and laughs at Destiny as he's forced to retreat back once again.
Yeah, it's so frustrating to play against this double shame. You can see Earth finds, Earth grabs, 2 jumps on a 15-second cooldown, the stuns, the thunderstorm, so many things, and this could even be the game. There we see the Fell Lord set up, Hex being casted by Zeepai, grounded by Hexer, well played by him. He's going to push in, try to get some crowd control, but Destiny with the freedom should be able to kite away.
I'm not entirely sure. Will he be able to get to the pillar in time? Walrix following up with some big damage. Hexer trying to pick his team back up. Flash of light after flash of light. Free therapy. Stay alive for a couple more moments, but they are still getting cleaved down. Gift of the Queen out from Hexer, hitting triple. Nice heals from Hexer, topping his team off. They can survive, but how do they counter pressure? Zeepai is a terror in this fight.
Yeah, it's really scary, especially since Destiny has to actually reach someone, and they're purging the freedoms constantly. We see Facile dropping low. He has aspect of the turtle in 10 seconds, just needs the line of sight. Nice little trap over onto Zeepai, should deny some of that pressure. They can maybe even get offensive with this.
I'm not entirely sure if they can. Hexer popping Ascendance, trying to get his team going, but now getting stunned on the end of it. Not able to even top his team off. They've got decent pressure on Walrix, but Looney has Earth and Shield Totem down. They can't find the kill with that. Unless they can punch through it, I don't think they can. Destiny needs to be careful. Full Hex landed. Hexer triggers into a Winter. Destiny is in the open. He needs to make a decision. Does he push in or does he go back? He's trying to push forward, but this is a risky maneuver.
Yeah, absolutely. Facile, he's positioned back by the pillar. I really like that. He has aspect of the turtle back. And notice how less pressure Enjoy Legion have been having because he's playing like that. Hexer also line of sighting the interrupts down there, gets caught out for a second by Warix. We see the single target pressure onto Destiny. He's going to pop out of that stun, pop his shield, will try to get back to the pillar, but like you said, Sid, he just can never ever get onto his target. Looney pushing in for the Hex. This is the Fell Lord. This cleans to be the game. DR stunned behind the pillar. He casts Windshed, Spirit Link just in time.
Oh, Hexer barely saves that one. Walrix now getting counter pressured away, but do they have enough damage to push him over? He gates out, and if you're free therapy, you must be screaming, how can they stay alive just a little bit longer? It's just looking grimmer and grimmer. Huge damage. Takes down Destiny. Enjoy Legion outclassing free therapy here, sending them home.
Do you believe in miracles? Because Enjoy
on the line for these teams. This is an elimination match. Let's hear it for Method, Triforce, and managers.
They're risking it for the biscuit.
What is this? Is he a tank?
No, he's not a tank. They're going for an all-in strategy on the Swapsy. So much damage. Deaththrun's going to be spamming out those purges. Swapsy needs to survive.
Are you kidding me?
Managers takes down Method, Triforce,
What
and game
is
number
this?
1.
Oh, look at their faces. We'll have to see if it can pay out in game number 2.
Yeah, the gates are open. Let's see what happens. Method Triforce going to be running that TSG setup, incapacitate over onto Botar into a leg sweep. Looks like they're trying to get aggressive over on him. Serenity has been popped by Reels and looking for that all-in strategy, but Botar should be okay with that AMZ. Nice protection coming in from Swapsy. Botar needs to top himself off, displaces away behind the pillar, and he's going to live to see another day. Maybe.
I don't know. The Touch of Karma is still ticking, gets some Swiftman heals, and the artifacts, so should be enough to keep him alive for now. And this was very all-in once again from managers. They used the Touch of Karma offensively, Trinket from Reelsin as well, Incarnation, Touch of Death, every single cooldown used. Deathrund is really going to be tested here. Can he keep his team alive until that next offensive push?
Corki using Barksy and a big swap over onto him. Deathrund has to get those heals out like we were saying. Gift of the Queen's going to be used. Incapacitate over onto Botar into a Fist of Fury stun. They don't have the damage to follow it up. Corki just has to play pure defense right now. Gets knocked away, unfortunately. Swapsy and Blizzo are going to be doing a huge amount of pressure, trying to survive in bear form, but that is going to be all she wrote. That the Triforce is going to take game number 2 very easily.
And that's the counter pick right in once again on Ruins of Lordran.
Well, the first time we saw this comp, it was surely exciting. Gamescom, are you ready to see it again?
We'll have to see how Managers does. Imprisonment over onto Botar. All in right now over onto Swapsy. He's managing to live a little bit better. Icebound Fortitude is going to be used immediately with that Iron Bar from Botar, diffusing this all in from Managers.
Yeah, absolutely. They were much better prepared here. Method Triforce used everything. You can even see the Tree of Life being played by Botar in this game. That's going to perfectly line up with that Metamorphosis. Is it going to be enough though? Corpse Shield used. Swapsy trying to kite away with those Chains of Ice, but those Demon Hunters are so mobile. Bash over onto Deathrund. Corki dropping low. He's used everything already. Second Darkness comes out. Will keep him alive for a little while, but there's no pressure on Method.
Yeah, this tree form from Botar is going to be enough. Once those demon forms fade, Managers is going to have no consistent damage. The double imprisonment coming out, but Managers just can't get any damage going. Corki really has no defensives left. He's going to be kiting away on that Demon Hunter. Still has Blur available. War Stomp on Deathrund, looking for that Cyclone, but unfortunately not going to trigger. Corki caught into that Asphyxiate, still just doing a good job kiting away, trying to avoid that damage, but this is looking so bad for Managers.
Yeah, they really have lost their all-in. The one thing they do have going for them, of course, is that Demon Hunters are very mobile compared to Death Knights and Warriors. They can kite around a lot. The Reelsin taking a fair bit of damage, has his Metamorphosis proc up right now from dropping low HP. They might try and get some swap over onto Bowtie. He doesn't have his Trinket, but I don't think they'll be able to reach him. He's trying to just kite away. They're maybe going for a split strategy here to stop getting cleaved.
That's a full imprisonment though. Swapsy could be in a little trouble, down at 50% HP. Reels into a full Stormbolt though. Execute connects. Blizzo takes him out. Method Triforce up 2-1 in this series.
It looks like Method Triforce is going to be.
So there is the opportunity for these double Demon Hunters. Corki and Reelsin have been putting on a great show. I actually thought they were riding in the same Mechanahawk there.
Let's see, it looks like they're still attacking the Swapsy very early on. Imprisonment over onto Botar. They're changing it up, but putting a lot of damage over onto Swapsy. AMS as well as Icebound Fortitude have been committed. Double Nemesis. This is the all-in for Managers once again. It's working a little bit better though. That cap stun coming in onto Botar was very nice. Good job by Deathrund there. Swapsy still in a little bit of trouble, trying to kite away, but is getting lower and lower. Double Chaos Nova. Corki also getting low. Managers doing a good job so far in this game, but Tree Form looks like it's going to be enough healing to stabilize Method Triforce.
Yeah, the Tree Form is just such a solid talent choice. I'm actually surprised Botar didn't think of this in game number 1, but he has managed to top off Swapsy. This is very bad. It goes without saying for Managers. All 3 Trinkets down, all of their offensives, 1 Darkness used, 2 Blurs. It is looking very bad for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Blizzo's not going to be taking too much damage here. Full Stormbolt over onto Corki. Deathrund has no Trinket, like we've been saying. He expended a lot of mana very early on with those offensive purges as well. Corki just doing the best he can to kite, but he can't get away from Blizzo right now. Interrupt over onto Botar. Deathrund caught into a full Asphyxiate. Corki trying to run away. He has Earth Shield, so he's going to be a little bit tankier, but still not in a safe spot.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is one thing we did talk about a bit. Managers have the potential to kite. If they're not willing to swap over onto Deathrund, Corki and Reelsin can run away. We see triple stuns now over onto Method Triforce. Good amount of damage onto Blizzo. He's going to force the die by the sword into another stun. They can cut through that. They have a lot of spell damage on this side. Deathrund also dropping low to Swapsy, gets caught up in the Gnar. Still has his Spirit Link available.
Yeah, cheeky little first day there by Blizzo, trying to keep himself alive as he runs out of line of sight. Deathrund's going to be in a lot of trouble. Imprisonment over onto Blizzo. Botar needs to top him off. Bash over onto Deathrund though. Deathrund needs to survive a little bit longer, trying to fake out those interrupts. Finally connecting some healing surges with that Ascendance, able to top himself off as well as his team. Blizzo has no defensive cooldowns left though. They can make a nice swap over onto him, but that Warrior's going to be inherently so tanky. Deathrund almost has no mana left, down to 40% HP, no defensive cooldowns available. How is he going to survive the last few moments of this game?
Yeah, it looks like Reelsin was actually running the smaller Nemesis, because, Metamorphosis, because his is coming off cooldown in the near future. We see Nemesis connecting again. This is the potential for them to kill Swapsy. A beautiful cap stun once again from Deathrund into the triple silence.
Yeah, Swapsy almost got low there, but now managers, can they survive it? Swapsy once again caught into the stun. He needs to kite away. Wrathwalk's going to be used. Bochar needs to pick him up. He has Ironbark available, getting lower
he's gonna
and
die.
lower. Is he
Don't
going to go
let your
down?
dreams be memes. Managers do it. Death so low. It's the cross kill.
Bochar and Blizzo against Corky and Reelson. This is not good for managers. Bochar is completely stable on HP. Reelson trying to get him lower and lower. Blizzo just needs to connect, defend for Bochar, and finish off Reelson, but he flies up in the air. Death from above going to be used, shooting down those Chaos Bolts over onto Blizzo, but it looks like Method Triforce are just going to be line of sighting. What an insane game this is. Imprisonment over onto Blizzo. Bochar not able to top him off. Corky and Reelson looking for that all in, but they don't have much time left. Blizzo into the imprisonment. He's going to get out, and that execute's going to connect. That's all there is.
What a way to end that series to watch. But Gamescom, are you ready?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Zeepai will actually be stepping in on Elemental Shaman. I guess he's feeling good off the back of that last series. He's going to be bringing the Thunder into this dome.
That was good. I like that one. We'll have to see how he does on that Elemental Shaman. Traditionally, Ellie Shamans are very squishy. Cervantes and Nerd Rage going to be looking to put a lot of pressure on him early on. He's going to have to do a good job kiting. Nerd Rage getting disarmed initially. Joe doing a good job protecting Zeepai. Looney in a good spot to just toss out those heals over and over. Disrupted at this point.
Yeah, Cervantes and Nerd Rage are just chasing down Zeepai, opting now to swap to Looney. Looney immediately retreating away from that swap, does not want to open any sort of swap opportunity. Zeepai jumping away, kiting effectively. Curious to see how these teams go toe-to-toe in the next couple seconds as Zeepai gets connected. Down to half, trying to escape the clutches of Emo. Looney doing a good job to position and top him back off. Leanne playing 40 yards away from the fight as well. I'm wondering if Leanne will get aggressive at any point in this game, going for a bash onto Looney, maybe look for Cyclones. It looks like he's trying to play it patiently, and that's going to be a test of the Druid's mana if it happens that way.
I think this is going to be a longer game, especially with the way Zeepai's playing, but finally they're able to connect. Ironbark's going to be used by Looney. Zeepai still holding on to that Astral Shift. Looney able to toss out some big heals. Fear is going to be coming out from Joe, fearing up Leanne, but really Enjoy Legion not able to get much pressure at this point in the game.
Looney actually, I think, is sitting down for a drink. We're going to have to wait and see if he pops back up with full mana here shortly. And yes, he did get full mana, so he has a slight lead over Leanne. Zeepai seems to be taking a tremendous amount of pressure as he's hovering at 50% HP, trying to make his escape. Looney doing a good job to pick him back up as Zeepai tries to jump to safety, getting rooted there on his jump temporarily, trying to still escape. Looney positioned well to avoid being swapped to. Nerd Rage is making his way over there as if they want to swap to him. Looney sees it coming, jumps into bear form right away. Joe is going to try and punish them and force them back, but now they've left Zeepai open. Zeepai ripping in, lightning flying all over the place. Cervantes trades out anti-magic shell. I do not think they can afford to be off of Zeepai for even this long, tearing in with Lava Burst after Lava Burst.
He's putting a lot of pressure. A big swap over onto Looney right now, though, into that Asphyxiate. Needs to get into bear form and try to get away. Still having a hard time, finally able to get away, top himself off. Nice disarm coming in from Joe, slowing down Cervantes a little bit in this game. Zeepai, though, like you said, they need to put pressure onto him. If they leave him free for too long, he's going to be able to cast and put out way too much damage.
Joe going toe-to-toe with Cervantes in the center of the map, just 1v1ing each other. Not going to result in too much pressure. Joe's trying to stay on target. Zeepai trying to create space, kiting with that Ghost Wolf. Looney kiting with him. They do not want to stack up and get potentially stunned at the same time. Zeepai still on the run. Pressure is mounting. Looney seems to be struggling. Zeepai knocks them away, trying to buy himself a little bit more breathing space. Joe is starting to get cleaved down. They're going to switch their attention to him at about half health. Looney now actually falling behind on mana. I think Leanne may have found a time to drink some of his mana back. They're going to grip Looney into the fight, stun him with that Asphyxiate. Nice disarm, should deny a bit of the burst as Looney makes his escape.
Yeah, Zeepai actually snuck a Hex in off that Fear onto Leanne, so nice crowd control coming in from Enjoy Legion. Now, Nerd Rage responds with a Fear of his own, putting some pressure over onto Joe. Joe might have to use his Die by the Sword at this point in the game. Looney doesn't really have too many defensive cooldowns left to keep him up. Cervantes trying to reconnect over onto Zeepai, but Zeepai doing such a good job in this game, kiting, making sure to use that Thunder Strike to knock them away anytime they connect. This is actually not looking too bad for Enjoy Legion. Luckily for Emo, Leanne was able to sit down for a drink, so his mana is doing very well at this point of the game.
Yeah, Lian moving in, stunning Z-Pi, trying to buy time for his team to reconnect with that Cyclone. They're going to grip in Looney. Looney instantly blinks away. They're going to pursue after him, followed up with a full stun, looking to try and take out Looney here, but a Hex denies some of the pressure from Cervantes. Looney should be able to make his escape here shortly, but Joe Fernandez is still an opening swap target as he used Dab of the Sword earlier. They're holding him at about 50%. Looney in recovery mode behind the pillar, trying to top himself off. Now coming back to try and save Joe. Joe dipping lower and lower. Will he be able to handle this? Almost into execute range. Blade Storm's out of the disarm. Joe gets cloned at low health. If they can swap any crowd control on the Looney, maybe they can find the kill here. They don't have the crowd control available. Joe gets gripped onto the leap. Looney spamming heal after heal to keep him going. Now getting interrupted. Joe starting to re-stabilize. A bit of a close call, but now Joe has time to turn this around.
Nice swap over on a Nerd Rage. Z-Pi doing a good job. They left him open for a while, and he's been able to keep a lot of pressure up. Now full bash clone over on Nerd Rage. Cervantes having to run away. A lot of pressure over onto him, but Looney into the full clone. Joe needs to kite. He needs to get away. Unfortunately, Cervantes and Nerd Rage, they're not able to connect. That full gear was kind of wasted. Ironbark got tossed over onto Cervantes as well. He should be able to survive. That was a good job by Emo. Good kiting by Cervantes. Now the pressure gets turned around onto Joe and Z-Pi.
Yeah, the game is about to equalize out here, but Looney is still slightly behind on mana as we get closer and closer to dampening actually kicking in right now. So as dampening stacks up, healing does less and less. 1% overall healing reduced in this fight, and it does go up to 100% if it gets to that point, but I don't think it will with pressure mounting. Z-Pi down at half, caught into a stun, still trying to kite away, but those chains of ice from Cervantes hold him in place, jumping away. Will he be able to escape to safety? Joe trying to deal with some hamstrings as well. Z-Pi doing a good job creating space for himself. Now that he's gotten away from the fight, he needs to look to counter pressure. Drops that Sky Fury totem, looking for a Stormkeeper. Chain Lightning's flying up from Z-Pi, cleaving down Cervantes and Nerd Rage, but Joe seems to be the one that's still in trouble. Stun on Looney, Joe down at half. Joe is not able to get connected to as Nerd Rage is swapping off to Z-Pi. They want to make sure that Z-Pi doesn't free cast. They know he will be a menace.
Yeah, absolutely. And that actually was the astral shift coming in from Z-Pi. So Cervantes and Nerd Rage have an opportunity. Z-Pi needs to do a good job of kiting. Thunderstorm going to be coming in, knocking them away. Full bash over onto Z-Pi as well by Lian. Looney gets gripped in on that Cyclone. So good job by Cervantes slowing down some of that crowd control. Z-Pi, once again, just doing such a good job kiting. Joe really playing defense for his team right now, making sure he has hamstring on Cervantes as well as Nerd Rage the entire game.
Yeah, Z-Pi just getting trained down by Nerd Rage. Cervantes marching his way over as well. Joe is trying to peel Cervantes away. Cervantes is the main focus target for Enjoy Legion, and he is vulnerable in this position with a full fear secured on Lian, so Cervantes kites away using Wraith Walk behind the pillar. Lian now reconnects, should be able to stabilize him if they can connect. Looney in the back line, drinking far away from the fight. The mana has completely reset. We're at 10% healing reduction now with dampening. Z-Pi needs to avoid as much damage as possible.
Yeah, these teams have so much on the line. Z-Pi right now getting lower and lower. Astral Shift's going to be coming up for him. He's just running circles around the team of Emo right now. Finally into that full Cyclone. Lian looking to slow him down a little bit. Pushing in for a full bash. Finally some damage over onto Z-Pi. They're able to connect the full fear onto Looney. Z-Pi is going to leap away to live another day. For now, Joe's trying to create some pressure for his team, but right now Emo has all the momentum.
Yeah, with dampening ramping up though, Cervantes' Death Strike healing is going to get lower and lower, so potentially a burst kill target later on. Emo trading out defensive cooldowns throughout this exchange. Enjoy Legion swap targets to Nerd Rage, trying to spread the pressure out. Burn down Lian's mana. Z-Pi still trying to create space, caught into a stun right now. Can they follow it up with any burst is the question. Bursting him down below 40 with that Apocalypse. Z-Pi still on the run. Looney doing a good job stabilizing him at about half, but it's not looking too good for Enjoy Legion. They need to get some momentum. Stormkeeper up in 30, Sky Fury up in 10. That's going to be the opportunity for Z-Pi to swing this fight around.
Yeah, Cervantes and Nerd Rage getting a little bit low. Finally, Lian able to connect a huge heal onto Nerd Rage, stabilizing him. Like you said, 20% dampening almost. Both druids doing very well on mana, but mana might not matter as dampening gets higher and higher. It becomes so much harder for them to heal through this damage. Cervantes getting lower and lower. Lian not able to top him off. Z-Pi getting gripped in. He's able to just leap away easily once again, doing a good job kiting. If you look at the positioning of Looney, he is so far away from Z-Pi throughout the entire game. He basically does his free cast, keeping him alive.
Yeah, Joe's still just peeling Cervantes and Nerd Rage from Z-Pi. There is some good pressure for Enjoy Legion right now. Cervantes and Nerd Rage go down to half. Will they have the damage to push them over? Z-Pi gets stunned for a peel. He knocks the opponents away out of that anti-magic zone, which was used a bit preemptively by Cervantes. They managed to get some value out of it now, but Z-Pi kites away. still holding on to that Astral Shift for quite some time. Druid mana appears to be even as dampening continues to ramp up. Cervantes getting bursted down to half. Joe really letting it rip. Will Cervantes fall? Trades out Anti-Magic Shell, but that will not deny Joe's damage. Manages to hold on for now. Lian trying to spam heal him back to full. Cervantes getting cloned at low health. Nice play from Looney here. Maybe they can rotate that Cyclone over. Don't think they have it available. Unfortunately, Looney doesn't want to get close. He knows that as Ellie Resto Druid, they need to keep their space and try not to overextend. Trying to pump out as much damage as possible, but Looney's the one running out of mana and potentially Enjoy Legion running out of time.
See Lian just bombing healing touches over and over, trying to top off Cervantes, but with 26% dampening, gets harder and harder. Ironbark's going to be used over on Cervantes as well. Increases in healing, that's going to actually be able to top them off. Icebound Fortitude just comes up for Cervantes, still just trying to find a target. Emo's had such a hard time in this game connecting to anybody. Looney actually getting Storm ulted there. They try to make a swap over onto him, but he's able to easily run away. It's going to be Skyfear drop by Zeepy, trying to put out a lot of pressure as he does get to free cast. Anytime they make a swap over onto Joe or onto Looney, Zeepy really just gets to let it rip, put out a lot of pressure with all that elemental shaman damage. Looney getting gripped in, but manages to actually displace away immediately before they pressure him whatsoever.
Yeah, this has been quite a back and forth fight as Joe is dipping dangerously low. Will Emo be able to find the kill? Looney's trying to deny it with that Iron Bark. Will that defense be enough? Joe dipping lower and lower. Looney playing this out greedy. Now caught into a stun. Joe still in trouble. Will he be able to hang on? Trying to find some counter pressure. Die by the sword out to deny the kill. Now leading the charge to Cervantes. Nerd Rage leaps over to pressure Looney. He's going to eat a bash. Looney looking to Cyclone out of that. Good crowd control. Denies the damage onto Joe. Now Lian and Looney still tied on mana, dampening, ramping up to a critical mass at this point. Heal over time effects are going to become very weak. Joe is going to be in danger. Cervantes is going to be in danger for the next minute or so. Joe could easily fall. Dipping into execute range, tries to leap away to safety. Will he be able to escape and survive? Now stunning Nerd Rage, trying to follow up with some surprise burst. Lava burst after lava burst, not enough to put Nerd Rage down. And now Joe once again on the run.
Yeah, Looney cannot top him off. That's going to be hexed over onto Cervantes. Gets dispelled right away. Joe still in so much trouble, trying to counter pressure the best he can. Looney getting interrupted though. The pressure gets turned around onto Nerd Rage. Dive by the sword has been used. Full fear onto Looney. Preemptively throws out that Iron Bark though. Joe and Nerd Rage both so low at this point in the game. Joe gets stunned up though. I don't think he has any mobility to get away. The Blade Storm is going to be used trying to kite. He survives just a little bit longer. Looney doing everything he can in his power to keep him alive.
Yeah, Joe stunning the battle cry of Nerd Rage, charging away from a potential execute. Zeepy trying to off heal and support as a hybrid, but with 40% healing reduction, those off heals aren't going to do too much. Desperately trying to hex Nerd Rage as Enjoy Legion flail to survive. Will Joe be able to make it out alive? I'm not entirely sure as they're looking to find the final blow. Nerd Rage trudges over. Joe leaps away, barely dodging the execute. Will he be able to stay alive? They just can't top him off. Zeepy is going to have to solo Cervantes at this point. If Joe even gets close to the fight, he's going to go down.
Yeah, Joe making hero plays with that heroic leap away from that execute. Swap over onto Lian right now. Asphyxiate over onto Looney. Bash onto Joe. Both teams going for a play right here. Joe still just dipping lower and lower. Nerd Rage all over him. Cervantes looking to connect. This split strategy coming in from Emo is paying off, but Nerd Rage getting swapped too. A lot of trouble. Full Cyclone onto Cervantes. Lian has nothing left. Can Nerd Rage survive? Try to heroic leap away. Zeepy charging in, trying to finish it off with the Ice Fury. Nerd Rage Blade Storms away at 1% HP. How is he alive right now? Lian using everything he has left to keep him up.
Somehow, someway, Nerd Rage has survived that onslaught. Now they're looking to turn around the pressure. Zeepy is dipping low. Joe's trying to find the kill still. They're going all in for it at 45% healing reduction. Nobody can do anything to stay alive. It's all in or die. Zeepy down at 10, still trying to kite away as Emo swing this fight back. Zeepy's hanging on by a thread. Nerd Rage is getting 1v1 by Joe in center field. Which warrior has the bigger axe is the question here in these final seconds. Zeepy jumps away on 5%. Cervantes is death coil him after death coil, but not finding a killing blow just yet, but they snag it. Nerd Rage in a potential cross kill though. Lian's still out of mana, but Joe will fall first, and Emo claim victory.
What an insane game that was. Both teams really putting it all.
Death Knight and the Warrior side of Emo are just innately tanky. They can use Death Strike to heal up. Here we go. The gates have opened. Joe is going to charge right in towards Cervantes, trying to lead that pressure, but Cervantes is actually able to easily just run across the map on his mount. Zeepy is getting closed in on. Lian's going to move up for a stun. Getting stunned himself. Joe may even swap to him, trying to punish this overextension. Joe going for the throat, not able to stay on target. Blade storming right back onto the DPS, looking to cleave them down with those sweeping strikes, but being disarmed right away.
Yeah, Cervantes and Nerd Rage like a Terminator just chasing down Zeepai, but they actually grip in Looney, trying to make a swap over on him. They actually force the Bark Skin as well. This is a nice job by Emo. I like that they're changing up their strategy a little bit. I think these swaps over onto Looney are not only going to make him spend a lot more mana, but also make him fall behind in this matchup.
Yeah, Looney now caught into a fear. Joe is taking quite a bit of damage. Nerd Rage is trying to make his way over, ultimately getting rooted there for a second. Joe is still low. Looney 40 yards away, should be able to spam cast some heals. They're going to grip him into the fight. They don't want to make this easy for Looney to recover. Jumping in bear farm, trying to escape to safety. Nerd Rage with some very good swaps and constant pressure. Looney trying to use Tranquility to boost the health of his team there in the back line. Uninterrupted, Looney should be able to recover. It does seem like Cervantes and Nerd Rage are having a good time. They're just chasing after Zeepai. They can cleave down Joe as they chase down that target. And unless Zeepai can get some breathing room and get some casted spells out, his pressure is going to be very low.
Yeah, but I expect this game to go quite long, like you were saying, Leanne, now into the bash. It's just so difficult for Cervantes and Nerd Rage to connect to a significant target. I like that they're pressuring down Joe, though, right now. He's down to around 40% HP. Make Looney cast, make sure that he has to expel all his mana. They have a lot of damage with that Death Knight. Joe actually could be in some trouble. He gets stunned up. Ironbark forced out by Looney onto Joe. Luckily, he saved that dive by the sword.
Yep, Joe isn't overlapping cooldowns, and that's what Zico is aiming at there with Looney as one of the best healers in the world. His communication is the reason why. Did not overlap cooldowns even in that desperate moment. Joe is still trying to just peel away Cervantes and Nerd Rage by attacking their backs as Zeepai looks to kite and create distance. Looney, though, getting caught into a Cyclone. Zeepai, the primary focus, getting gripped in, trying to knock his opponent's way, but dipping lower and lower. Looney in a hard position. Do they trade out the Astral Shift? Yes, they want to avoid damage. They need to stay ahead on mana, as this is going to be quite a long game. Switch some attention to Cervantes. Managed to get his Icebound Fortitude and Anti-Magic Shell. 2-for-1 setup. Nice Cyclone from Looney at low HP. Doesn't look like they're going to have any sort of Cyclone swapping going on, so they should have time to top him off here. Cervantes is still trying to march to a target. Joe kiting away. He is getting cleaved down. Without dampening, though, it should be difficult for these teams to find a kill.
Yeah, this is actually looking really good for Emo. They have a lot more pressure in this game. I like that they're swapping around, putting pressure on Joe, gripping in Looney, just hitting really everyone, keeping Enjoy Legion on their toes. So you can see Zeepai's getting lower and lower, still just trying to kite away in that Ghost Wolf. But the thing is, every time he's in that Ghost Wolf, every time he's kiting away, he's not going to be doing significant damage, and that's why you see Emo really not pressured too much so far in this game.
Double fear there from Joe onto the DPS. I'm not entirely sure if that was needed. That could be an opening for Emo to punish. They're training down Joe. They're going to catch him into the Asphyxiate, try and burst him down in the stun while Looney was drinking. They managed to get a dive by the sword off of that greedy drink. I don't know if they're going to be able to punish him after that. Mana has now been evened out as we are nowhere near dampening. I don't think at least over another minute. Joe getting disarmed, going to stall out his pressure. Zeepai finally finding some time to cast some spells out, creating a little bit of momentum on Cervantes, but Leanne seems to be dealing with it just fine. Nerd Rage is going to swap targets, switching over to Looney. Looney's going to throw him into the bash, looking for a Cyclone chain out, but he triggers Spell Reflex. Interesting decision from Nerd Rage as they want to build some momentum onto a separate target, leaping back into the fight, stunning Zeepai up. Two members going to be connecting. Zeepai immediately trading out his defensive cooldown. Astral Shift wants to reduce the pressure as they are having almost 100% uptime. Looney appears to be struggling, activates his artifact to boost his healing, try and recover from this split situation.
Yeah, Zeepai's going to be able to easily kite through that shroom that was dropped by Looney there. That's going to be a full Asphyxiate as Looney does get gripped in, so they managed to easily get his trinket. Looney's not going to have a trinket for another 2 minutes. That was a good swap by Emo. Now they have an opportunity to take down Zeepai with maybe a full fear over onto Looney. Zeepai doesn't have that Astral Shift for another minute. You can see Leanne right now activating his artifact. He's going to be increasing his healing as well. Just wanting to stabilize his team and keep them aggressive in this game. Looney now still getting tunneled down by Nerd Rage. I like the split strategy, like I said, from Emo, making sure that everyone from Enjoy Legion is kept on their toes.
Nice fear attempt here from Emo as they look for the kill on Cervantes. That Anti-Magic Shell should deny the pressure of Zeepai. Joe has to solo him through that. They're keeping up their momentum, though. Leanne seems to be struggling to try and top him off. He's trying to play it greedy, doesn't have to trade out the Ironbark. Now he can use that later to keep his team aggressive. Joe still with no dive by the sword. Could be an opening if Cervantes is going to commit that Asphyxiate once again. I would imagine they're waiting for Looney to go for a drink. Pressure is starting to mount up. Joe is tearing in. Cervantes down below half. Will he be able to survive the pressure? Trying to kite away. Gets rooted, though. Not able to close the gap. Joe is having that 100% uptime on Cervantes right now. Zeepai finally in the center, able to pre-cast some spells. Surprising to see him use that on Lian. So expecting that to be on Cervantes. They're going to clone up Cervantes, try and deny some of the heal overtime effects of Lian. With that Cyclone now faded, Zeepai's going to lob out some lava bursts, try and create some pressure.
Yeah, we are now in dampening territory, though. This game's going to get harder and harder for both Druids, up to around 4% at this point of the game. Asphyxiate over onto Looney, but they can't connect the damage. Cervantes has to play defense. It's getting too low. Lian needs to be able to top him off so he can put out some pressure. Joe also getting swapped to right now. Everyone from Enjoy Legion rotting down lower and lower. Looney is going to have to play catch-up at this point in the game. Zeepai trying his best to kite away. Full bash over onto Looney. If he gets Cyclone here, this could be bad. Luckily, Zeepai's there to shock the heal. Good job by him playing defense, not letting Looney get Cyclone there by Lian. Joe still getting lower and lower, but he should be okay. He's in D stance right now, just trying to pressure down Nerd Rage and Cervantes.
Yeah, Looney manages to recover from that stressful situation. Now with dampening starting to mount up, this is when things are going to get interesting. Zeepai needs to avoid as much damage as possible as dampening ramps up. He's got good space right now. He's looking to start free casting some spells, lobbing out that Ice Fury. Cervantes getting bursted down to half, still trying to march forward. Looks like Lian is able to back him up, stabilizing their entire health bars for now. Looney in a competent position, looking to try and get a drink. Wants to reset his mana as soon as possible, but now they're pressuring Joe. Every time Looney goes for a drink, they focus down Joe, and they might be able to get the die by the sword with this one. Trying to hold on to it. Looney trying to chase after him. Trades out Iron Bark instead. Nerd Rage is going to leap over and look for a fear. But with that preemptive Iron Bark, it's not going to build any pressure. Nerd Rage is just going to switch entirely to Looney. Looney now able to easily kite away, however. Joe getting cloned up. That's going to stall out the pressure on Cervantes. Lian trying to take control of Joe with that crowd control. Looking for some entangling roots as well. That's going to hold him in place. Cervantes still marching over, but now Nerd Rage getting cloned by Looney there. So both Druids taking these warriors into their own hands. Zeepai able to create some space, lobbing out some Chain Lightnings, trying to cleave down Cervantes. Huge damage to follow that one up from Enjoy Legion. Another burst attempt like that, deep into dampening, could net them a kill.
Yeah, Cervantes, that was a very close call for him. Zeepai still trying to kite away the best he can. Cervantes and Nerd Rage trying to reconnect. It looks like Joe is the one that's in trouble. Full fear over onto Lian, though. Cervantes needs to survive. Going to be using that Wraith Walk to get behind the pillar. Joe getting pressured down. Nerd Rage throwing it in disarm over onto him, attempting to slow down some of that incoming damage, but Emo falling further and further behind. Lian still has his Iron Bark, though, to top off his team. Nerd Rage trying to find damage wherever he can. Zeepai's going to get gripped in and instantly run away. Unfortunately, gets reconnected to. Finally, some uptime for Emo on Zeepai, able to pressure him down just a little bit. But look, he can just easily kite away with Ghost Wolf, get away from Cervantes. This poor Death Knight just can't hit his target.
Yeah, Cervantes is having a hard time staying on target, but with that Asphyxiate, they will find some time to connect the pressure, and Looney was trying to drink in the back line, trying to keep his mana lead moving into this inevitable late game. Zeepai trying to juke his opponents, jumping back. Looney in a good position to start spam casting Regrowth, trying to use Healing Touch as well to stay mana efficient, but they Death Grip the heal. Now Death Grip not available for Zeepai, though, so Zeepai can stay far away from Cervantes quite easily, bursting him down, looking for that Stormkeeper, setting up for some Chain Lightnings. Not too much pressure just yet. They switch their attention to Nerd Rage. Would have liked to see that damage on Cervantes. They might be able to force an AMS, but unfortunately now not. Stormbolt into a full Hex. Good coordination. They got Lian's Trinket with that attempt. Nerd Rage now getting bursted down. Ice Fury connects, getting caught into that Earth Fury stun. Will Nerd Rage fall? Night Cyclone, low HP. Actually decides to Trinket out of that, allowing Lian to connect some critical heals to save Nerd Rage. But now the cooldown situation is in favor of Enjoy Legion. They just need to keep this momentum.
I think that Trinket was imperative for Nerd Rage to survive, but they're turning it around over onto Zeepai. Still has that Astral Shift. He's going to be activating that to reduce some of this damage. Full fear over onto Lian. They're trying to keep the pressure up. Nerd Rage getting lower and lower, though. Looney has his artifact up, so his healing is going to be very strong, but we are at 26% dampening. I don't know if he's going to be able to top off his team and recover. Nerd Rage caught into the Stormbolt right now. A lot of pressure over onto him, but Lian in the backline able to easily cast out those heals, stabilize his team. Looney having a difficult time right now. Zeepai's actually ranging him. They're too far away. Cervantes now activating that AMS, trying to survive. You can see Lian just throwing out the heals over and over. Zeepai getting out those Chain Lightnings, running back into the efflorescence of Looney to get that additional healing and to be able to kite away.
Yeah, Cervantes is dipping low. He's going to be the primary focus as Lian is struggling to keep him alive. Dampening, ramping up. Cervantes getting lower and lower. He's going all in for the kill. This could cost him this match. Joe leaps over, gets disarmed. Now Joe is in trouble. Caught into a stun. They're looking to reverse the pressure around. Cervantes and Joe both in so much trouble. Who is going to fall first? Joe hanging on by a thread. Cervantes goes down. And Joy Legion find a win on that board. Everything matters in this series as both teams face elimination.
And we have a series on our...
It's going to be ideal for them. They need to make sure they're kiting around as much as possible. But here we go. Joe charges in, trying to put some pressure early on over onto Cervantes. Nerd Rage already on Zeepai. You can see Zeepai is going to be jumping down, using the outside of the arena. Like I said, it's going to be very smart for him to do that.
Yeah, the start of this fight is going to be quite slow as Zeepai creates a lot of space for himself down on the bottom, now looking to try and kite his way back to the top. He's looking to set up a thunderstorm and knock his opponent's way by positioning here on the top. Joe was just trying to stay on target, peel Cervantes and Nerd Rage away. Zeepai keeping good space. Joe in for a beer. Lian trinkets out of that right away to keep his team completely top. Does not want to fall behind and lose momentum.
Yeah, not at all. Joe getting lower and lower though right now. Looney has to play catch up. Zeepai getting interrupted there. You can see his positioning playing so annoying, making it very difficult for Cervantes and Nerd Rage to connect. But finally they're able to get some damage onto him. Looney not really having to do too much healing at this point. If their only target is Joe, it's going to be pretty easy for Looney to deal with that.
Yeah, Zeepai thunderstorming Nerd Rage away. Good positioning from Zeepai throughout the initial start of this fight. And if he can keep this position going for some time, it's going to be easy for him to pick off Emo deep into dampening. Looney getting Cyclone. Really like these offensive plays from Lian. If he can support his team, get some CC on Looney or get some roots onto Zeepai, hold him in place, they can definitely find a kill earlier on. So, but it's a risk. We're in a tournament. Will he take that risk is the question.
Yeah, it's going to be, we're going to have to find out. It's full Cyclone over on a Nerd Rage. Cervantes getting Storm Bolted there. Nice defense from Joe, but really not too much damage going out at this point in the game. We have to wait for it to go a little bit longer. Cervantes getting bursted down. AMS going to be activated. Looney getting ripped in. I like that swap. I want to see more swaps onto Looney for the team of Emo. Cervantes getting lower and lower. Icebound Fortitude going to be activated. Cervantes has to run away. Looney should be able to survive. It's just Nerd Rage pressuring him down right now. He gets away, but those consistent swaps over on the Looney on the smaller map like Dalaran 2 is going to be key for them to win.
Yeah, it was a bit of a scary moment for Looney as he did get vortexed from Lian. Lian making some very good offensive plays, now stunning Zeepai, but eating a stun of his own, and maybe Joe even swaps to him. I don't think they are. Joe is just going to stay on Cervantes and Nerd Rage throughout the entire fight, keep them snared, do as much damage to both of them as possible. Then when Zeepai creates space and can unload some lava bursts, that's where they're going to find their win condition and their kills. Meantime, Looney getting clone. I think it was Spell Reflect on that clone, going to put his team a little bit behind, but Zeepai is constantly on the move, constantly kiting away. It's difficult for Emo to stay on target.
Yeah, anytime Zeepai is threatened, he just runs away from Lian, making it very difficult for Cervantes and Nerd Rage to chase him. They have to make that offensive choice like you were talking about. Joe getting lower and lower, Looney getting swapped to. I like these consistent swaps. Like I said, good pressure for the team of Emo right now. Lian getting interrupted. Good shear coming in from Zeepai. They're trying to turn around the pressure over on Cervantes. Lian also taking a little bit of damage. Just Zeepai kind of just hitting whatever target he can, trying to create pressure for his team. Lian actually displaces away into a full bash. Looney doing a good job there. Lian forced a trinket very early on.
Looney now trying to Cyclone Lian on low health. Lian reverses with a bash Cyclone of his own. Joe is low. They disarm Joe. Do they have the stun to follow out of the disarm? Joe plays defensive. Line of sights. Stuns the opposing warrior Nerd Rage, buying Looney time to get a Cyclone and restabilize his team. Cervantes doing a lot of work right now, holding the entire team of Joy Legion at about half. Now Joe Fernandez has recovered. Cervantes is being counter-pressured. Zeepai is going to get gripped in for a stun, but he can easily knock his opponents away. Start kiting with Ghost Wolf if he needs to. With only one member on his back, he wants to take some time to counter pressure. Lian appears to be trying to get a drink. Got a lot of mana back there as we do move into dampening. Unless Zeepai makes a mistake, this is going to be quite a long match.
Yeah, I actually like this. Emo just needs to make sure that Looney never is able to go for a drink, but it looks like Looney's actually sitting down right now. Lian caught into a hex. He's not able to actually help out Cervantes or stop that. Looney pushing in to get some follow-up CC, but not able to find it. Cervantes getting lower and lower, going to be trading out that AMZ to survive. Joe taking a lot of damage though. Stun over onto Lian.
duel over on disarm over onto Cervantes right now. Full cyclone over onto Looney. Joe could be in a little bit of trouble. He's trying to run away. He's caught in the middle of the map right now. He can't get away into D-stance. Might have to actually activate that die by the sword. Looney's going to trade out that Ironbark cooldown to prevent some of this damage that should keep Joe alive, as we aren't in dampening quite yet.
I think Nerd Rage has spell reflected 2 of Looney's clones, and that's resulted in some major defensive cooldowns from Enjoy Legion. If we're getting into dampening and these clones get reflected, that will cost them the game, so he needs to be careful. They are trying to swap to Looney. He's displacing back to the box. Zeepai is 1v1ing Cervantes. Joe is supporting him. Cervantes should be forced away. If he jumps down this ledge, he will get destroyed. Leanne needs to back him up if they make that decision. They're not taking the risk, not jumping off the side, but that means Zeepai can free cast on the bottom, and if they leave him open too long, Leanne's gonna have to spend a lot of mana. Joe still getting cleaved down. Looney trying to pick him back up, gets gripped into a full fear. Joe could be forced to trade out that die by the sword, but fortunately, that fear has broken early. Looney can top his team.
Yeah, with the way Enjoy Legion is positioning right now, I can't help but feel Emo, the snap isn't working out for them quite well. Looney doing a good job trying to throw out some crowd control right now, doesn't able to find it. Unfortunately gets interrupted there by Cervantes. Zeepai going to be thunderstorming away Nerd Rage as he does try to connect. Once again, Zeepai doing a great job kiting in this game. It's going to be a fear over onto Leanne. Unfortunately, not too much damage going to be put over onto Cervantes. Leanne following up that CC. Unfortunately has to use his Ironbark onto Cervantes, but he should be able to stay alive. Full asphyxiate over onto Looney. Big burst coming in from Nerd Rage and Cervantes. That's going to be the bark skin from Looney. Tries to get away. Actually gets gripped back. Looney could be in a lot of trouble. Displaces away once again. Nerd Rage reconnects, but Looney able to kite away. Should be able to stabilize himself.
Yeah, Looney trying to top himself, but that means they switch their damage to Joe. Joe goes down below half. Looney trades out Ironbark to buy some time to recover. He can use slow casted heals as healing touch to save mana. Cervantes now being counter pressured. Stormbolt on Leanne. Zeepai throwing over some lava bursts and lightning bolts. Cervantes manages to recover quite easily with that anti-magic zone. However, Joe trying to pressure Nerd Rage away, disarming him. Nerd Rage blade storms out of the disarm to counter pressure Joe. Joe leaps away, trying to switch targets and avoid some damage. Nerd Rage now leaps away back to the pillar. Not entirely, he's trying to switch to Looney, but he's not able to stay on the target. Now Looney can move over, bash Nerd Rage. Nerd Rage trinkets out of that right away, wants to build some momentum on Cervantes. Zeepai though is dipping low. Tied 1-1 in the series, 10% dampening as we begin to mount up into the late game. Still anyone's match.
Yes, this is such an important match for both teams in this tournament. Zeepai using that Thunderstorm once again, doing a good job creating some space away from Cervantes and Nerd Rage. Cervantes taking a lot of damage right now. Thorn's going to be activated, so Joe not going to want to hit him too much. He's going to take a lot of that reflected damage. Good job by Leanne realizing the situation. Actually lands a full Cyclone onto Looney as well. So this is good. This is good for Emo right now. They have a lot of pressure over onto Joe. Fortunately, Nerd Rage just kind of wandering aimlessly over onto Zeepai, finally able to reconnect with that heroic leap. Going to be putting on a little bit of pressure, but Zeepai once again doing such a good job kiting. It's difficult for Emo to actually land on the target.
Yeah, Nerd Rage getting controlled by Looney with those entangling roots. Zeepai kiting away as well. It's very difficult for Emo to actually stay on Zeepai for even longer than 5 seconds. Cervantes now being counter pressured. Dampening is mounting up. Joe is spinning to win. Will the damage be enough? Lava burst after lava burst. Full fear found onto Leanne, but Joe can't reconnect. Good chains of ice. Nice jump down from Cervantes to avoid the reconnect. Nerd Rage gets knocked away. Zeepai builds some space, trying to buy time for Looney to top him up. Jumps away from the grip. Looney needs to spend a lot of mana here, trying to cast the heals. Not even needed to, actually. Zeepai still just creating enough space to avoid that situation. Stun on Leanne. Good pressure on Cervantes. He line of sights Zeepai with the waterfall, marching slowly but surely back to that target. They don't want to leave Zeepai open for too long, but even still trying to reconnect. Zeepai is pressuring Cervantes back. Joe will reconnect as well. Ironbark gets traded out from Leanne, but now with dampening mounting up, it's going to be difficult for these teams to recover from burst damage such as that.
Yeah, Zeepai caught into the stun. He's able to still kite away. Looney getting gripped in. He displaces immediately. Ironbark going to be used over onto Zeepai, but like we said, 20% dampening, getting higher and higher. Becomes so difficult for these roots to heal through this damage with that kind of healing reduction. Leanne caught into the Stormbolt. He trinkets out of that immediately, so this might be an opportunity for Joe to land a fear. They can get some burst damage onto Cervantes and Nerd Rage with that. Could be a win condition for Enjoy Legion a little bit later on. Joe trying to kite away right now, taking too much damage from Cervantes. Also just trying to counter pressure Cervantes as well. Zeepai still kiting away. Sky Fury Totem was dropped. They need to be careful to either line of sight Zeepai or shut down some of this damage, just casting over and over. Nerd Rage getting pressured so much. AMS going to be used by Cervantes as well. Looney's mana's looking really good. Leanne actually looking like he wanted to go for a drink. Unfortunately, doesn't look like he's going to be able to find it. Now caught into the Stormbolt by Joe Fernandez. But unfortunately, Zeepai actually nice leap by Zeepai there, using that Astral Shift to reduce that damage and doing a good job kiting in that Ghost Wolf.
Yeah, and Zeepai is basically playing with Nerd Rage and Cervantes. He's been excellently kiting throughout this fight to drag it on this long, but now with Dampening ramping up, they need to start counter-pressuring as well. Nerd Rage is charging in. Cervantes got cloned there, not able to reconnect. Zeepai creating even more space. Lian activating his artifact, wants to get his team aggressive, and on top of his opponents. Lian, though, eating a stun. Cervantes not taking too much damage as Joe is unable to connect. Zeepai getting gripped down, out of line of sight. Zeepai trying to jump back. Looney maybe trying to sit down for a drink. It's a greedy decision, but Zeepai seems to be doing okay. Now the full fear lands. Looney trinkets out, realizing that he needs to be the one to save Zeepai. Zeepai manages to build a lot of distance away from Cervantes. Nerd Rage is going to leap in, looking to find that kill. Dampening is very high. Looney is struggling to top off Zeepai, but with this space created, nobody can even deal damage to him. He's just hovering at 50%. They switch some of their attention to Looney as well, trying to catch him off guard as we move later and later into this game.
Yeah, Looney needs to kite away from that box. It's too easy for Cervantes to pressure him down when he's in that situation. You can see Looney, although he got a lot of mana there, he has to play catch-up, activating that artifact ability. That's going to be increasing his healing, but it's just 32% dampening. All that reduced healing makes it so difficult. Nerd Rage doing a good job continuing the pressure over onto Zeepai. Cervantes splitting, actually doing a nice swap over onto Looney by himself, almost soloing him. This could be the Barkskin or Ironbark. Looks like Frenzied Regen going to be enough. Full fear out from Joe onto Lian as well. Cervantes are trying to burst down Nerd Rage right now. You can see Zeepai, he's far away from the enemy team, able to just cast out these spells over and over. Joe Fernandez going to get disarmed there. Nerd Rage also getting disarmed. He actually trinkets out of the disarm. Wants to keep up this pressure onto Joe right now. Joe almost in execute rage. You might want to use that dive of the sword. Looney gets caught into a stun as well. Cervantes maybe get counter pressure, but Joe going to be activating that dive of the sword. They might be able to just kill him through it, activating that Blade Storm, trying to get away. Looney has to play catch up like crazy, getting lower and lower. Nerd Rage trying to connect a full bash over onto Nerd Rage, though, into a Cyclone potentially. Looney doing a good job with that CC, but this is such a scary moment for Enjoy Legion.
Everyone is rotting down on Enjoy Legion. The pressure is completely in favor of Emo as they look to close game number 3. Joe could easily fall and does. Emo find victory with this close quarter map selection. Ultimately, Enjoy Legion.
Tournament life can be on the line in this game as the gates do open. We'll have to see how this one plays out. We're going to be looking to see Zeepai do a lot of kiting in this game, keeping up that consistent damage, but you can see both Nerd Rage and Cervantes just mounted up, connecting onto Zeepai very early on.
Yeah, and that's going to force him to try and build distance with only Ghost Wolf. If he uses a Thunderstorm or a Gust of Wind, Nerd Rage and Cervantes have immediate answers. Zeepai repositioning here at his Earthbind Totem to snare his opponents as he's kiting actually on top of Lian. He's trying to maybe get more aggressive. We did see a couple Storm Bolt with that Hex CC chains. That could be a way for Enjoy Legion to find an early kill.
Yep, looks like Lian's going to be able to toss out some of those heals. Zeepai still just kiting away, doing a good job creating space. Cervantes getting bursted down, but it should be easy for Lian to top him off. You see Ironbark's already been forced by Emo. Looney unfortunately having to use that very early on, but he should be okay. I want to see Zeepai really use this platform. I mean, that's the advantage that I thought they had on this map. You can see Zeepai getting Vortex back, looking like he's not going to be opting to do that. Looney getting gripped in. This is a nice swap. I want to see Emo in this game, making sure they're swapping around. That was nice. They grip Looney in, they stun him, they get the Barkskin, and they just clone him up. That's the kind of stuff we need to see from Emo if they want to close out this game earlier on.
Yeah, definitely. Looney is getting swapped too as we speak. Displaces back to the pillar. Should be able to stop himself off here very quickly. Cervantes is still getting counter-pressured by Joe, and Joe's doing more of the same, just trying to peel for Zeepai, deal as much damage as he can to both Nerd Rage and Cervantes, keeping up those Rens, keeping up the sharpened blades. It seems to be working all right for now as Zeepai is using this balcony to create space and just take on Lian. Looney sees that opening, moves over for a stun. Can Zeepai kill Lian in this? I do not think so. Nerd Rage is going to leap over, deny any follow-up from Looney with that fear, charge back to reconnect, but now Zeepai can easily jump back up top. Cervantes is going to punish that with an immediate death grip. Now Zeepai thunderstorming his opponents away, trying to create some space as momentum is swinging in favor of Emo.
Yeah, this is looking good for Emo at this point of the game, but Ironbark going to deny any of that pressure. Now they have to turn their attention onto Joe. You can see Cervantes, anytime he can't connect to Zeepai, he pressures down Joe, and that works out so well, especially later on to dampening that Death Knight with that Necrotic Plague. Super effective against that Restoration Druid. Makes it very difficult for Looney later on. Necrotic Plague plus Mortal Strike. That's the fact that he can field these games for so long is really impressive, to be honest with you. Zeepai gets reconnected to once again. Still has that Astral Shift, going to be using Ghost Wolf, kiting away. Once again, gets away. Lian into the Storm Bolt. I'll have to see if they make a swap over onto him. Doesn't look like it. Zeepai not in a good position to get follow-up damage, pressuring down Cervantes just a little bit, as well as Nerd Rage. Zeepai managed to get away. He's playing up top on that platform and get out some casted damage and create some pressure for his team.
Yeah, I just want to say, if Zeepai slips up for even a second, his team is out of the tournament. So there's a lot of pressure on him. He's playing overly defensive and trying to keep as much space as possible. But with only overly defensive plays, will they have enough damage to find a kill and get the win? If you can never win, you're not going to be able to advance. In the meantime, Zeepai getting stunned up. Nerd Rage reconnecting. Cervantes gripping Looney, and Looney instantly blinks away from that swap potential. Nice awareness from Looney, trying to stay ahead of his opponent. Zeepai creating space. Lian in the back line spamming out healing touches as both teams begin to stabilize. Joe trying to get some momentum with this Storm Bolt, but Zeepai can't back him up. Zeepai retreating away from the Blade Storm, trying to avoid as many points of damage as possible. Drops Sky Fury, trying to build some bursts with some Frost Shocks, jumping over on top of Lian, and Zeepai just running around like a bumblebee, trying to keep as much space as possible, drag this fight out as long as he can, but even still, if he drags it out, it doesn't mean he's going to win.
Yeah, such an important thing about this match, as well as the rest of Druid's mana. You can see Lian already sitting down for a drink. Big swap over on Aluni. Is he going to be able to get away? Barkskins, maybe too late. Nerd Rage trying to take him down. Nice Stormbolt by Joe right there, preventing that execute. But Looney's still not out of the woods yet, trying to get away. Vortex going to be used. That's going to be enough for him to get away. He gets caught in the full fear, though. Unfortunately, Nerd Rage able to reconnect. Cervantes just can't get any pressure over on the Looney. But in the meantime, putting some pressure out onto Zeepai as well as Joe. Joe now caught into the full clone. These swaps on the Looney, like I said, are going to be very important. Looney has been pressured so much in this game. He's a bit behind on mana. Emo needs to make sure they do not let Looney ever sit down for mana, so Lian can have that advantage later on.
The other disadvantage of Zeepai kiting as much as he is that Cervantes just uses Chains of Ice on Joe, and Joe can't attack anything because Nerd Rage is constantly moving, and so is Cervantes. So this kiting overly defensive play could cost him the match here as Looney gets swapped to into that X68 stun. Zeepai is trying to back him up with a couple of healing surges. Looney, though, still in trouble. Zeepai gets cloned. Can Nerd Rage find a killing blow? Doesn't have enough time. Nice Cyclone, low HP. Looney opts to trinket out and escape to safety. Gets gripped back. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication because Nerd Rage leapt after him, and now Looney created so much space they reverse it. Cervantes gets bursted down. That one swap to Looney allowed Zeepai enough time to force so much pressure on Cervantes.
Yeah, Lian now caught into the Storm Bolt. He needs to top Cervantes off. Should be able to. Actually going for that Tranquility behind the pillar. Cervantes is actually getting Cyclone there. Trinkets out of that immediately. Wants to be able to get healed up by Lian in this situation. Another follow-up Cyclone by Looney. Two close calls in this game onto Looney. He needs to be very careful. He has no Trinket. Luckily, he has Barkskin. Needs to not be greedy with it in this situation. Zeepai getting pressured down. Looney gets gripped in. They make one more swap over onto him. Barkskin's going to be committed instantly. Does not want to get bursted down. Able to displace because Cervantes unfortunately used his grip to start that CC chain, but it's intelligent by Emo to continuously make these swaps.
Full fear from Joe Fernandez. Enjoy Legion trying to build momentum. Zeepai looking for a Hex. Lands the full Hex. Nice crowd control chain, but Zeepai stands still for too long. Goes down to half. Trying to find some sort of pressure, but Cervantes deflects with that anti-magic zone of protection. Zeepai forced to retreat. Lian sees that retreating motion, moves in to bash him. Nerd Rage leaps to reconnect. They grip Looney, and Looney immediately blinks away. Joe and Zeepai rotting down. Dampening now starting to mount. It is at this point that this game becomes so stressful. Enjoy Legion face elimination.
Yeah, this is such a stressful moment for them. Just one game away from being eliminated. There's been so many close calls in this game. Looney has got to be sweating in this situation. They need to play perfect if they want to be able to survive this Death Knight Warrior composition by Emo. Dampening getting higher and higher. We're at 10% right now. You can see Lian down to around 60% mana. Looney actually leading the charge in terms of mana. Been able to preserve a lot of his mana with the swaps over onto him, heal through some of that damage with that frenzied regen. Cervantes getting bursted down right now, opting to use his human racial, that trinket to get out of stuns. Icebound Fortitude is going to be up for him very shortly, so he should be safe. Zeepai in a decent position right now. Unfortunately, Cervantes able to connect some damage. Full fear on a Looney. Zeepai needs to survive. He needs to get away. Nerd Rage connects though. Zeepai gets gripped back into the fight, still trying to kite away, almost into that execute range.
That death grip just saved Zeepai. He death gripped him away from Nerd Rage, and that could have been a huge amount of momentum, and now Zeepai can kite away. and that panic death grip from Cervantes could have cost him a kill, maybe cost him the match. Zeepai stays alive, Enjoy Legion restabilized. Looney sitting down for a drink. If he can get full mana here, it's going to prove to be quite worth it moving into the later stages of this game. Dampening around 30% seems to be the critical mass for both of these teams. Looney gets a mana lead. Looney, though, getting stunned up, but right before he got a Cyclone, so they're not able to swap off of that. Looney now can create space. Joe goes for a Fear. Leanne trinkets the Fear right away. Does not want to fall behind with Dampening ramping up. Zeepai able to find some time to cast some spells. Ice Fury, Stormkeeper up, looking to burst down Cervantes. Really, though, not enough damage to force any cooldowns, unfortunately for him. Now momentum starting to move in favor of Emo. Looney trades out Ironbark to recover. Zeepai kiting away, trying to keep as much space as possible. As Dampening kicks in, damage becomes more valuable than healing. And trying to keep his team going. Joe and Cervantes go toe-to-toe in the middle of the map for now. Both players down to half. Stormbolt onto Leanne. It doesn't seem like Zeepai is in position to follow up with a Hex, unfortunately. Zeepai still trying to kite away as both members reconnect. Leanne using Tranquility to top his team. Nice knock off that death grip there from Zeepai, backing Looney up as they swap. Vortex down. Vortex to Displacer Beast. No, it unfortunately did not. Looney able to escape to safety. Zeepai, though, getting cleaved down. Cervantes trying to stay on target. And with Dampening mounting up, this is still anyone's match.
Yeah, both Nerd Rage and Joe early on in the game aren't the best targets, but as Dampening gets higher and higher, it's going to be important for both teams to pressure down the Warriors. It's just extra damage and extra healing that the Druids have to put out. Zeepai trying to get some pressure right now. Nerd Rage all over him, though. Joe getting lower and lower. Cervantes might just solo him. He gets gripped behind the pillar. Joe needs to be able to survive a little bit longer. He gets stunned up. Looney's going to be using that Ironbark. Joe needs to use the Die by the Sword as well. That was very greedy by Enjoy Legion, almost costing them this tournament.
Yeah, that was a very close call, and now with that cooldown overlap, Joe is an opening to kill later into this game. Zeepai needs to be the one to make something happen. Does he have it in him? They make the swap to Looney in these final moments. Will he be able to survive? Joe peels them away. Blade Storm from Nerd Rage. Nerd Rage wants this kill. Zeepai stuns him away. Looney's trying to create some space. Nerd Rage still going in. Looney blinks to safety. Cervantes trying to back up Nerd Rage, but Nerd Rage has overextended. Zeepai now in a good position to start counter-pressuring. Leanne struggling to top off Nerd Rage. Looney still hasn't recovered from that swap seconds ago. Disarm onto Joe. Joe is still in trouble. Blade Storm's out. Will Joe be able to survive? Dampening mounting up. Tournament lives on the line. Down below half. Zeepai caught into a stun. Joe charges over. Leanne manages to blink away. Cervantes getting counter-pressured at the same time, but Joe is so low. Looney gets interrupted. Joe is into execute range. Nerd Rage is trying to find the kill. Looney's doing everything in his power to deny it, but it is not enough. Evo are going to BlizzCon.
What an insane game. Enjoy Legion taken out by Emo. What a beautiful performance by them on that Warrior Death Knight. Really.
Because the game is starting.
Yeah, here we go. The final series of the day. Method Triforce leading in with their Warrior Death Knight, and Northern going to be putting their best foot forward with their Rogue Mage Priest, the classic matchup.
Yeah, not only are they putting it forward, they're putting it far forward. An aggressive start from Northern. They are playing that Dark Archangel on Zunyaki. They want to get offensive onto Botar. Buckskin might not be enough already. So low. Frozen Orb, Frenzy Regeneration. Raikou taking the brunt of damage as well.
Yeah, Botar still can't deal with the pressure. Wads is on his tail. Botar war stomps him away. Buys a second to recover. The damage from Northern there was explosive. Zunyaki's Dark Archangel was well timed, but now they're on defense, trying to restabilize for another attempt. Full blind landed. Smoke bomb drops as they swap over to Blizzo. Waz, can he land the sap in time? They're going to go for a polymorph instead, but now with no stun combos, Raikou is in trouble. Down at half, blinking back to center field. Zunyaki positioned to get a Fear potentially on Botar here soon. Waz is going to switch back to Botar. Wants to keep your pressure on him. If they can split up the damage, it will be difficult for Botar to predict a stun setup and get in that bear form in time.
Yeah, and he has to predict every setup because his team is playing triple relentless against this RMP, which means if they get bursted, they do not have those PvP trinkets available to break out of that. We can see Frozen Orb, Icy Veins, both available for Raikou at this point, and Blizzo, they already used the anti-magic zone. They have the opportunity to win there.
Here comes another swap onto Botar. Raikou unleashes every cooldown in his arsenal to crush Botar out. Will it be enough damage? Blinks away. Waz reconnects. Waz looking to find that early kill. And Method Triforce go down in game number 1.
Easy game.
Gamescom is going crazy right now. Northern is going to take the first first game of this series. They are primed right now. They're going to take that composition advantage, and they want to book their ticket to BlizzCon yet again, trying to take down the reigning champions.
Yeah, they won last time, these two.
Pipes to open. Both of these teams are going to be charging in right away. Method Triforce down 1 point in this series. They do face tournament elimination. Waz moves in, lands the sap onto Blizzo, gets found by Botar. Botar immediately opening with a bash, trying to stall out this initial assault. He knows he's going to be the primary target. Can Botar survive the onslaught? Dark Archangel, 3-on-1, huge damage towards Botar, following it up with even more. 1% health, barely stays alive.
And they do get the anti-magic zone once again before the Icy Veins. As Zico has said last game, that is a huge win condition. Actually, Swapsy even gripping away Sunyaki there. That was interesting. I mean, he was trying to grip away the fear, of course, but he could have gripped Waz and maybe held onto the anti-magic zone. We now see the full polymorph onto Botar, who is also once again playing that relentless talent.
Yeah, it's a greedy play. They find him out of bear form again. Do they have enough damage to push Botar over? Blizzo is trying to peel for him. Will that be enough? Botar seems to be recovering for now. Needs to get out of line of sight of Raikou as soon as possible as he makes his way to this side of the box. Raikou blinks in, gets grip back. Botar still under fire. Double War Stomp, nice play from Botar. Follows up with the Cyclone. Zuniaki looking to mass spell that, doesn't find it. Looks for a triple fear. Looking to set up. They're purging Botar down. Jumps into bear form. I think they're going to be training Botar start to finish. That means that Blizzo and Swapsy need to make something happen now.
Yeah, they're going on to Zuniaki. They force the trinket and the pain suppression, but look, if Zuniaki can survive, here's the Dark Archangel. This could be it. Can they connect Icy Veins onto Botar? He needs to stay alive here.
Yeah, he will survive the stun lock. Will they push him over is the question. Frenzy regeneration ticking, and it seems like he will survive. Now Zuniaki finally getting some counter pressure is thrown his way. Blizzo trying to reconnect, interrupts the Shadowman. Zuniaki dipping lower and lower. They go for a stun onto Blizzo. Triple fear out of that from Zuniaki. They make the swap. Blizzo portals away. Gonna be healing back up with that artifact trait. Zuniaki being trained down. His entire team dipping lower and lower. That initial momentum has finally been lost as Method Triforce look to sink in for the win on game number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Botar should be completely fine. There's no Icy Veins available, no Dark Archangel for 12 seconds, and you can see Zuniaki is falling further and further behind. Blizzo just tunneling him down on that Windwalker Monk right now. He's doing a good job, but his mana's dropping. Botar now caught up in the stun once again.
Yeah, triple fear attempt out from Northern. Will they find the kill? I don't know if they have enough damage to do it. Zuniaki's in a hard position, dipping lower and lower, gets interrupted. This is going to be it for Northern as Method Triforce strike back.
Yeah, they do. Blizzo on that Windwalker Monk looking so strong. He's dropping a little bit low, but Raiku's going to leave that game 1-1.
Up for grabs, Adrian.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can see these guys both leading with their first foot forward. The crowd are ecstatic. This is, of course, a repeat of last year's European Finals. And now one of these teams will make it to BlizzCon.
Yeah, Waz is leading the charge for his team. Zuniaki crossing the tomb, trying to take Botar out early on here in Runes of Lordaeron. Not enough damage to take him out during the stun. A well-timed disarm denied the follow-up. Botar is still the pressure target. Waz is just training him start to finish. Botar trading out Renewal, trying to be greedy, holding on to Barkskin as long as possible. Now they're going to blind him, make a swap potentially over onto Blizzo. Looking to bait some cooldowns out from Swapsy. Landing a polymorph now out of that blind. They need to try and get more cooldowns. They're just going to cut through Blizzo, going for that last line. Blizzo going lower and lower. Stun onto Botar. That lands them the kill, and Northern are 1 point away from advancing to BlizzCon.
I was just about to compliment Method on how good that opener was. They didn't have to use the Barkskin.
But Warlock either, so they have, I don't know.
Yeah, here we go. The gates are open. Game number 4, Method Triforce have to put a win on the border. They are going home.
Yeah, absolutely. Waz pushing in immediately. He's looking for that opener onto Botar, who is sitting in platform. He actually gets Raikou out. Nice little thrash over there into the Mighty Bash on Waz. Uses the Elsos Vortex as well. Just trying to be disruptive at this point. War Stomp as well. Botar using a lot just to try avoid the opener from Northern.
Blizzo already popped that Serenity, but he's getting crowd control on full duration as Northern set up to get an early win. Big burst coming over to Botar. He's able to deflect with that Renewal. Frenzy regeneration ticking. Botar should be able to recover, but Waz is relentless, staying on his back. Start to finish here. Botar is struggling. Can he stay above water? This could be his tournament life on the line. Waz tunneling into him. Swapsy trying to peel. Botar manages to get a moment to breathe, but this is a close call.
Yeah, the map's on fire, and so are these teams. Botar kites away with his life there. Barkskin, Renewal, and Ironbark all traded out, though. He's in a bit of trouble. Anti-Magic Zone, crucially, was held onto by Swapsy, though, for that Icy Veins later in the game. We have to see now now. Can Method get offensive? They already used most of their cooldowns and they didn't really achieve too much.
One more swap to Botar could be the end of this match as Northern look to push and win. Waz tricketing out, blind on Botar. They swap to Blizzo, looking for a weak point. Blizzo barely staying alive with those healing elixirs, but they got that critical anti-magic zone on Blizzo, which means the next swap to Botar could kill him through Parkskin. He needs to be incredibly careful in these next couple of seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. That was without the Icy Veins as well. And look, Raikou still has a trinket. They're trying to swap over onto Zunyaki, but he's able to hold on to that pain suppression so far. Actually gets Ursul's Vortex up as the melees follow him. Huge misplay on Method. That's going to reduce so much pressure, but Zunyaki still in trouble.
Yeah, pain suppression. Here comes the swap onto Botar. They pop the Dark Archangel. They need 100 ohm. Blizzo peels away Waz. Buys Botar time to breathe. That was the critical setup on Botar. If they don't find the kill on him in the next couple of seconds, Zunyaki will struggle to keep this fight going. They make another swap over to Blizzo. Half the 100 ohm in that stun combo. Touch of Karma available. Opts to use it now. Raikou getting gripped up. Death grip back down. Swapsy wants that setup. Blizzo getting polymorphed away. Waz is still tunneling down Botar. Trinkets out of that bash. Will Botar handle the pressure? His tournament life is on the line.
Yeah, Raikou blocked offensive there. They might be able to take him down right now. No pain suppression available either. They're getting the full connection. No life grip. He could just fall here. Hypothermia should be expiring soon. He does have that second ice block, but he's in big trouble at this point.
Yeah, Waz now getting stunned. Method Triforce looking to put this to a game. Number 5, they just need to stay alive a couple more seconds. Pressure on Raikou. That over-aggressive ice block could cost him the match as Zunyaki is struggling to heal. Second ice block has been forced. That last line of defense. They've got one Dark Archangel. They've got one Druid to kill. Can they make that connection? Waz is setting it up. Raikou's trying to close the distance. Waz gets gripped away. Botar line of sights. Botar is so scared right now. Everything on the line. They may even make a swap. Blizzo's counter pressuring. Raikou is in trouble. Down at half. Zunyaki running on fumes and running out of time. Raikou blinking back up. Waz may look for that swap. They go for the kidney shot. They're going to go for the rear props, and they make the swap for the win as they push their way to BlizzCon potentially.
Yeah, he gets the wall though, able to port away, well played by Blizzo. And now the full asphyxia onto Raikou is nothing that big cap onto Zunyaki, who is also The Dark Archangel means he doesn't have the additional healing. He has nothing left. Defensive blind onto Blizzo, but surely Raikou will fall. We're going to game 5. Method, take it on Blade's Edge.
We are taking this series all of the way, and for the first time, we see some life. Team who is going to BlizzCon.
As we do load up into Tolvaron, the map choice, of course, coming out of Northern. It's the biggest, it's the best for these guys. Raikou, once again, Zunyaki on that Dark Archangel, and they get the immediate opener.
Yeah, they immediately stun Botar out of form. I'm surprised to not see them commit all in. They do now pull the trigger. Botar trying to recover from this initial aggression. Frenzy Regeneration has stabilized his health, but now that is over. Waz is just tunneling him, start to finish, really putting that gas pedal down, and Botar is stumbling. Will he be able to handle the heat? Waz is going in. If Raikou can get over here for even a moment on this next stun, it could be Method's life on the line. They're trying to get control of Swapsy, trying to avoid the counter pressure. Double fear from Zunyaki. Raikou switching to Polymorph, blinking on in. Botar getting caught out of form. They drop the bomb. They're going all in, but Botar manages to survive completely by himself. Scary situation. They're still pressuring him down, but they're running out of time.
That was so close. Botar managed to get around the pillar by a millimeter, meaning Raikou didn't get a single point of damage. Now the Apocalypse popped by Swapsy. He wants to get offensive over onto Raikou. Has no mobility, a sap coming out of the blind onto Blizzo. They're trying to get offensive, but Dark, all the cooldowns from Blizzo are still available. They need to swap back over to Botar.
They wanted to swap to Botar, but they didn't go for the stun out of the sap. He was able to get in bear form and now out of line of sight. Botar is ready for the swap. He's in bear form, just waiting for Northern to pull the trigger. Dark Archangel available. Icy Veins as well. Here goes the trigger. Will it be enough? Nice spear from Blizzo. Buying Botar a couple of seconds, but he needs more than a couple. Frenzy Regeneration recovering for now. Waz still tunneling through. Raikou held on to Icy Veins. Botar basically has nothing left. They go for the polymorph. They look for the swap. Blizzo is exploding right now in center field. Barely hangs on with that die by the sword, but Zunyaki follows up that crowd control chain with a Psychic Scream into a mind control. They're tunneling Blizzo down, trying to get Botar off guard. Looking for a swap now back to him. He's in bear form. He's ready. He's waiting. He's got that Iron Bark over onto Blizzo, I believe, so now not available for himself. Raikou's got to get something done with his Icy Veins on the next stun.
Yeah, Northern are really showing why they are the best rogue mage priest in Europe right now. Swapping constantly. Blizzo's still in a lot of trouble. Has to leap away, actually. That's really bad. Means he won't be able to connect to Raikou for quite some time. Frozen Orb is committed there by Raikou. He still has that Icy Veins, of course, available, but they haven't yet forced the anti-magic zone from Swapsy.
Yes, and that's going to be a critical defense. Ring of Frost whiffed. Botar getting feared away off the pillar. If they can get a stun combo in the open. Raiku's been holding on to this Icy Veins for what I feel like is too long. He needs to get this out soon if they're going to find a kill. Botar is getting comfortable in a good position. Pressure is starting to mount in favor of Method Triforce. Zuniaki's team slowly but surely rotting down. They go for the stun kill attempt. Once again, can Raikou connect the damage in time? Not enough damage, not even close. Botar is going to shake that off easy. Waz is still trying to follow it up with more damage. Can they tunnel Botar down? He's got the cooldowns to answer this. Doesn't even need to trade them out. Waz sees that the kill is lost, trying to go back and help out Raikou. Northern's tournament lives are starting to falter. Will Botar's defense be broken?
Yeah, we can even see Kidneys now over onto Blizzard. They're peeling a little bit more. They're actually trying to get some damage onto him here. Blind Sap. This is, of course, the disadvantage of Relentless. He actually uses the anti-magic zone and leaps out of it, but he's able to get back in. Well played by Blizzo.
I
They
don't know
do
if it's
force
enough.
that with the Icy Veins.
Double fear away. Blizzo buying Botar a couple more seconds to top off. Now Raikou in trouble.
Oh.
Will he be able to hang on? Ice block traded out. Zuniaki running out of mana though. Blizzo pummeling the heels, trying to put him on the back foot. Raikou manages to stabilize. Botar has Barkskin ready for the next attack. He's in bear form, just waiting. That was the Icy Veins. That could have been the last opportunity for Raikou to really get anything going. They go for Kidney Shot. They don't have enough damage. Botar shakes that off. They grip Raikou away. He gets gripped back in by Swapsy. Mind controls in desperation being spammed by Zuniaki as Northern are starting to lose their grip.
Yeah, Northern looking worse and worse. Raikou might be forced into his second ice block. He cold snaps, able to kite away for now, but the Archangel has been used. The Icy Veins has been used. The Shadow Blades even. There are no offensive cooldowns on Northern's second ice block is forced. Method looking so good.
This
Zuniaki
is
is almost
There's literally nothing left for Northern as Method Triforce should have a free win from this point. Northern have to pull off a miracle. They drop the bomb. They go all in for Blizzo, but they don't have the damage to back it up. Blizzo leaps in, and the
Cyclone on
BlizzCon
City.
champions looking to take this series and go.
dies.
Method Triforce are going to BlizzCon.
Northern
can't
is
believe
no
it.
more. This is why Method are your reigning BlizzCon champions. Take a look at them.
Look at the
Pack
reaction.
your bags. You are going back to BlizzCon.
You would not have predicted this, but you can never count out.
You can't